What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
And again, it's picked off. It's Darius Leonard, a pick six for the Maniac. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. Yes, sir.
Sabonis down the lane with authority.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome in. So Jim Irsay is going to meet with the local media here coming up shortly, I believe. We'll have a conversation regarding that with Kevin Bowen coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. The NFL, in case you did not notice, kind of laid down some heavy punishment for those unvaccinated players that, end up testing positive for COVID and then their team ends up having to forfeit a game. We also learned, I guess, this by way of Kevin Seifert. I know Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network and then Kevin Seifert, who covers the NFL, I think the Steelers for the most part for ESPN.com, had also brought up the numbers and reporting that the Colts numbers are among the lowest in the NFL. Zach Kiefer, the Athletic, then says, while that is accurate, the Colts, or at least from what he has heard, the numbers are getting higher. Who knows? Who knows? But this is going to be an interesting situation throughout. Now, I mean, everybody is going to be left up to making their own choice, but those rules for those that make the choice not to, like it or not, these are going to be some incredibly restrictive, and then if something does occur, incredibly punishing sets of rules here. We're talking game checks and the like, which, a lot of this stuff will create some junk inside that locker room without question. So we shall see where it all goes. COVID outbreaks could lead to forfeits. There are a lot of things going on with this as we move closer and closer to the start of the season, and certainly with the Colts in mind, to the start of camp coming up next week. I mentioned Bowen's going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour. We shall talk about that. What's kind of interesting about this entire thing is this time of year now, I mentioned, with Colts camp opening up in Westfield next week, you also have the NBA and the draft coming up next week, and then you have free agency. Thank you, Kyle. Was it down there? I'm so stupid. I've got her and this and all this stuff. I can't keep track of anything. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. But you had all that going on right now. I mean, normally this is kind of easing into the camp, and we start talking about all this crap that we've talked about all year long, right? Or at least since the end of the NFL season, we've been talking about now. I mean, we're just going to get rapid fire. Rapid fire from both sides of it, from the Colts and the Pacers, and frankly, I dig it. I like it. I love having a lot to talk about this time of year. I'm trying to think. If you go back to the NBA for a moment, so the draft is normally in late June, and then you start to get that trickle of free agents and maybe some NBA news. And then that NBA news normally with free agency in mind is made concrete. What, second week of July? So all this now has been pushed back, and here we are waiting on it. And all this stuff is going to transpire. And then, by the way, too, college football. David Bell coming on tomorrow. Right, wide receiver, former Warren Central standout, Boilermaker, is going to be with us. He's somebody that, and we'll see as to what level is taking advantage of NIL. I don't know to what level, because he's got that, clearly his image is being utilized with our friends, the shop in Broad Ripple and Carmel, and those shirts look nice. I think Trace is doing it too with the shop in Broad Ripple and Carmel, Trace Jackson Davis down at IU. So we'll talk to David Bell coming up on this show tomorrow as one of the highlighted receivers in college football. It's kind of funny, and I'll bring this up a little bit later on, but BT, who's a friend of the show, big-time listener to this show, big-time listener to the Saturday show, and I always appreciate the input, was asking me about IU basketball and IU football. And the IU basketball has had an awesome offseason. Now, there's no doubt there hasn't been a minute tick off a clock. There has not been a dribble in a real game, not a timeout called or nothing. But still, in the realm of just positive conversation, they've had a good offseason. And then we'll start making our determinations as to how the season goes once they start playing. But make no mistake, after about 4 years of consistent, first it was waiting and, hey, wait till he gets his guys, and then you have your guys, and wait until his system takes shape and whatever. At the very end, it was just people becoming either angry and then apathetic, and they make a change. And that was the 4 years of Archie Miller. But for the first time in 4 years, there is a level of excitement even before they play. But BT asked an interesting question about who has the better season in Bloomington, the IU football program or the IU basketball program. And this does reek of a Connecticut water question of the day. And I guess I am quick to judge it this way. Like what IU won a year ago? 8, right? Won 8 games a year ago. If you look at their schedule, there are some swing games there, like a Michigan game. I have 8 wins on their schedule right now. There's a Michigan game at Michigan where you're thinking, that's winnable. I mean, you get Ohio State at home, but it's Ohio State. And you'd like to think that they're able to, with this group, with this team, take it to another level. But now you also understand that this is not just IU football rolling in any longer, and, maybe they can keep pace for a while and make it interesting. I mean, this is a team now that people are going to look on the schedule and say, yes, this is a legitimate matchup. I'm not suggesting anybody ever took them lightly, but the years of doing that are now gone compared to what we're looking at this year. So you're going to have teams that are going to be gunning for them this year. With IU basketball in mind, I mean, where do you set the bar? Like the bar with IU football, I'm assuming, is more. You'd like to see more than 8 wins, more than what they did a year ago, and win some sort of bowl game or some sort of playoff, whatever. At least be mentioned, but win a bowl game of some sort. I think for IU basketball, it's just getting back to the tournament. So I think the path of BT, what you're asking me here, who's going to have the better season, ultimately that's going to be within our opinion, your opinion on this. I think the path is, I don't want to say easier, but I don't know how else to put it. Looks like the path for IU basketball to live up to the bar of these so-called expectations, to me, would be a more reasonable path than it would IU football. And it doesn't mean I don't think IU football is going to have a good season, because I do. I mean, listen, that's the expectation. There's no, hey, you know what? They'll give it a good try. Let's have a good season. There are expectations now. There are absolute expectations to have a good season. I think most around here, if you were to win 8 games, would be great. Win a bowl game, win that extra game. I think that is the expectation for IU football, whereas IU basketball, you be competitive and you get back to the NCAA tournament, for goodness sake. Like, I will say this, I think that is more manageable. Even though you don't really know what you have because the transfer portal has been wide-ass open. But that is your level of expectations. So, BT, that is a very... Yeah, you can go in there. That is a very good question that you ask, and I might transform that, if you don't mind, into a Connecticut water question of the day. So we shall do that coming up. Thank you, BT. Appreciate that. But, yeah, IU football, IU basketball, it's kind of interesting, too, because we're talking to David Bell tomorrow, and there are going to be some expectations, and there should be in West Lafayette, but for different reasons, because now in West Lafayette, you're looking at the football program that is looking behind what that IU program is right now, and there are heavy expectations considering Jeff Brom and how much you're paying that coach. And there are expectations that are going to have to be dealt with there. Again, for different reasons, but certainly still there. IU football, for example, has gone through an offseason where it seems like it is often you get a tweet saying, this however many star player has decided to choose IU football. And, they just continue to put good piece of news on top of good piece of news and make it feel good. I mean, if a Boilermaker fans, you're just kind of thinking, all right, you paid him. You had all this promise early on, and now it's time to deliver. And this is going to be like a swing season, you would think, in the form of expectations for Jeff Brom up in West Lafayette. And those can be difficult to deal with. Now, if you want to include Matt Painter's basketball program, talk about expectations, there's going to be no more of this disappointing loss to end the season. It is time to make NCAA tournament noise. You can't say much more of how enjoyable the offseason has gone for that Boilermaker basketball program and Matt Painter, too. Now it's time to deliver. The expectations is and absolutely should be incredibly lofty. But if you want to view it through that scope of July, that's exactly how I think you're looking at it right there. With both of those in mind. And something we'll discuss. We're going to get into the college football season with a lot of stuff for you leading up to. And it should be hellaciously fun. There's no doubt about it. But you're looking at heavy expectations for IU. I can't remember. Maybe going back to the late 80s. When they had teams that had Anthony Thompson, when they had teams that had Dave Snell was the quarterback, teams with Ernie Jones as a wide receiver. Those types of historically cool programs. Hey, is that the call that's calling us right now? They're supposed to call us earlier, you think? No? The weirdness in the hotline rings, which is always pretty interesting. Is it? Oh, yeah. What did I tell you? I said about an hour off. This is funny, and I won't let it in because I come in sometimes I'll come in a little bit early, right? Because I will set up different interviews. I not only love doing sports-related interviews, but I like doing interviews of all kind. So even if I don't end up using them directly onto this show, I will use them for other reasons, whether it's going to put it on my podcast or up on the website or on my social media platforms, or I'll use it on a Saturday night, and that's kind of what we were doing here. So I came in a little bit earlier. I'll let you inside now. I'll let you in on a little bit earlier. I came in because the State Fair is coming, and, I get a lot of opportunities to interview, whether it's, a concert at the State Fair, at Ruoff. If we're talking about at the lawn at White River State Park, I get the opportunity to interview a lot of these folks that are coming in. And I've done this one before, but I kind of wanted to do it again. Kyle and I came in a little bit early so I could have a conversation with John Waite. John Waite, of course, former lead singer of the Babies, John Waite of Bad English, John Waite of Missing You and the album No Breaks in 1984. And I thought, just for the conversation, we'll have it. And Kyle and I sat down there a little bit earlier going, man, this guy's not calling. Are we getting snubbed here? But I said, I bet you the timing is off on it. That's who it was? Do you even know who John Waite is?
No, I don't, but I think we might be rescheduling.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. I think I had him on. Matt Taylor was still with me back in the day. And I think I actually had him on this show. That's before, obviously, I did what I do on a Saturday night down the hall. And now, that's given me more of an opportunity to do more of that and certainly do it outside of the realm of this show because, for the most part, you guys want this sports-related content, and I get it, and I dig it, and we've been doing it, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. But when we have the opportunity to do something like that and I can put it on a Saturday night, that's what we do. But you had no idea who John Waite. Did he say, "Hey, this is John Waite"?
It wasn't him. It was someone associated
it was
with
somebody
him.
else? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were an hour off. And I told you, I bet you they're an hour off on this. I bet.
But it looks like we're going to reschedule for tomorrow.
Okay, cool. I can certainly reschedule for tomorrow. So that'll be coming. It'll come on either my social media platform or the podcast here. And certainly you'll hear a little bit of it coming up on Saturday night. But he was synonymous in the late 70s and in the 80s. Yeah, he was one of the dudes back then and still is an incredibly good dude. He and Kyle Cook, if Kyle Cook doesn't ring a bell, Kyle Cook is a musician from Frankfort, Indiana. And I bet Kyle Udemark will know this. Kyle Cook has been a long time in the band Matchbox 20. And you do know who they are, I guess, right? Matchbox 20, that's your era. Kyle Cook is from Frankfort, Indiana. I think now he lives down in Nashville, but he and John Waite are going to be playing together out at the Indiana State Fair. And I don't think I'm going to talk to Kyle, but I will talk to John Waite at some point. So, yeah, a little bit behind the curtain right there. It's what happens when John Waite calls during your opening conversation of your sports show here. And I'll get another one next week. I think, Daryl Hall and John Oates, Hall and Oates?
Yep.
I think Oates is going to call us next week, so we'll do something with Oates. You know which one Oates is? Oates has got the big fro. He's always had the big fro.
Yeah.
Oates. So next week I'll talk to Oates, and we'll record that, and we'll play that back at some point on, again, one of our social media platforms. So there you go. We'll reschedule John Waite with me outside of this show coming up tomorrow. A lot of you are asking, going back to the NFL and their COVID outbreak decisions and how hardcore it is, and you're kind of saying, oh, well, how can they do this? And how can they say one thing, all the teams are saying the right thing, is because everybody is going to say the right thing. But we ultimately know what the NFL wants, and we certainly know this. If the NFL, if you start messing with the money that they're making, hand over fist, every moment, every breath they are taking, you start messing with that, and good luck to you. So they're the ones, they are setting the levels of punishment. They are setting these parameters that, basically, if you don't do it, you're going to jeopardize something. Yourself, your teammates, your team. You just will. In really more ways than one. And for the most part, that way is going to be financially. And you say, I can't believe the NFL is doing that. Well, the NFL is run roughshod. And if you think that thing's going to slow down for anybody and wait, it's just not. They may not be making the teams and the team brass or the ownership to be the bad guys in this. They don't mind playing the heavy, and they will. And it will be interesting to see what ultimately happens with all of that. Am I going to address him as Oates? Yeah. Joining us now, here's Oates. I probably will. That is really good right there. Well done. Anyway, we can hit that at 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. Inside the lounge via YouTube Live, you will see a little bit of milling around if you guys are watching via YouTube Live right now. Got some movement going on in here. We got one more. I got a +1 more than usual in here, which is always a good thing, too. We can hit that. We can dive back into the Pacers and the upcoming NBA draft. Get your thoughts on that. Should be interesting coming up as we hit that stretch run in next week. And then ultimately free agency, too. We haven't talked really a lot about that because we kind of consider the Pacers in a no man's land of if you can't really find enough money to get both McDermott and McConnell back, which one might it be? Which one would you rather have? Which one is going to be more affordable for you? And if you're going to make any movement whatsoever on this team, basically it's going to have to be done by what way? By way of a trade. I mean, are these rumors regarding Brogdon being shopped around legit? Are the rumors regarding Miles being shopped around as seemingly he has been for well over a year? Are all these legit? These questions will become a little bit more clear next week. Hey, JMV, as a first-time Colts season ticket holder, I want to know what happens to the amount I paid for each home game that gets canceled due to a forfeit. You guys are going to play a role in this too. Believe me. I mean, listen, Chris Ballard and Frank Reich will say all the right things. And you know what they should. I mean, Frank Reich is always saying all the right things. I mean, we know this to be Frank, and, you know, as everybody loves Frank, and rightly so, yeah, things can go completely haywire on the field with his team, and he's not going to blame anybody. Everything is okay. We just didn't execute in that situation. I mean, all these ways of not throwing your dudes under the proverbial bus here, and that's the fine line that they're trying to utilize with these COVID rules and these COVID punishments if they go that far. The NFL doesn't mind playing the heavy. But you start messing with their monetary gains, and good luck. I'd have to think, right? I mean, you talk about a season ticket holder, for example, but, I mean, if you're inside a locker room and, you know, you guys know who is and who isn't, and then who isn't costs you a game check, costs your team an opportunity playing in the postseason. I think we all know how that's going to be dealt with. As we get closer and closer, we'll see how interesting that is going to be. And we'll talk with you. That number's 239-1070. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live. I mentioned, you know, concert dates and such here locally. We have 2 4-packs to go see the band Fish. To be a part of the Subway Party Deck, Subway Eat Fresh. It's exclusive, and the only way that you're going to go is going to be through winning those tickets right here. Now, you've asked me to do it other than doing it on the phone, and I don't know. It is a lot tougher if we don't do it on the phone. Like if I do it somewhere via Twitter, or if I do it in the lounge. Like my loungers there have asked if I do it inside the lounge, and I don't know if it'd be really tough. We'll think about that. We do have 2 4-packs to give away. I've got a 4-pack of Kings of Leon also coming up in the month of August, and that is also under the coverage of the Subway Party Deck. Again, exclusive. Got a cash bar in there. I mean, everything is really easy. Everything is convenient, and everything is very comfortable. So the only way you're going to get involved in either of these would be to win them as a part of this show. And I will tell you, we shall set that up for you to listen to win. The Subway Party Deck, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center, Subway Eat Fresh. Anything goes coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, too. You guys have been asking for it. In fact, I think it's going to be sponsored, so we're going to probably have to start doing it more than we have. Frankly, we have backburnered it for a while. I didn't really want to burn it out. Because, I mean, you know me, like, it's funny. Like, last night I'm playing a little hoop, right? And I'd have to go back and look exactly what it is. So don't call on me to give this verbatim. But basically, you know, somebody had pointed out hot takes. You know, and I say I'm not a hot take artist. And I'm not. I mean, I am tell it like it is, truthful. And I don't go in the loudmouth jackassery stuff. I don't go there, but I'll tell you what is truthful. And then I'll let you opine on what you believe is truthful. I mean, you spend all this time. I mean, if I'm going to have you spend 3 hours here using all your data, soaking that up on the app to listen to me, then I'm sure as hell not going to hang up on you because your opinion differs from mine. I mean, I don't play the jackass rule. I never have and I never will. You know, it works for some. It doesn't work for me. So anything goes. I didn't want that to become some kind of hot take deal, right? It's kind of funny. Last night, so I'm playing hoop, and I said something. I responded to somebody about not being a hot take artist, and then the response I got was, oh, yeah, coming from the dude that calls week 1 a must-win. All you got to do is look back a year ago. It was. I was right. That's not a hot take. That's a belief. All right, a hot take is something that you say for the sake of stirring it up because you believe that's going to get you an extra listener or some sort of hype by stirring it up. And most of the time when you do that, you are saying something you don't largely believe. You're just doing it for the sake of stirring it up. And I've never been about that and never will be about that. The must-win stuff that I toss out there, that is legitimately how I feel. It's real. It is real, and it doesn't matter. It can be in week 1. It certainly is in week 1 because you look back on how reflective it was as a decision maker for the division. It was accurate. So, no, that's not a hot take. That is something I believe in. I do. I put, at least going up to a game, I put more of a value. I'm sure players aren't going to do it, coaches aren't going to do it, organizations aren't going to cop to it, but that doesn't mean it is inaccurate. It is. I don't care what your math says. Listen, we have been hit over the head in sports as fans, as people that cover it, with the sledgehammer of analytics forever. We are allowed to have our own opinions beyond the realm of analytics that would also hold true. Now, the analytics that you look at a year ago, had they won in Jacksonville, as they should have, as I coined a must-win, it is the truth. It is not a hot button. It is not a hot take. The absolute truth. And I'm glad more and more of you, as we move along, more and more of you are jumping on board with this. I do appreciate that. More and more of you are going, hey, you know what? You were kind of right about that. And there's some I'm going to be wrong about. What was it? How many years ago I was inaccurate about there was a Cincinnati game I threw in as a must-win? I mean, hell, I can't even remember when it was now. I have been the grassroots of the must-win when it is still mathematically possible to achieve postseason status. My logic flies in the face of those out there that are crunching the numbers utilizing mathematics in the form of analytics. Doesn't make it any less true. Do you like working in the soaking up your data? That's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard. It is clean and crisp, however. So if you do have the means, please utilize it. All right, quick break and we shall return. Bowen's coming up at the top of the hour, and we're going to cut loose in the 5 with an Anything Goes segment that I'm sure will be absolutely classic. We've got 2 4-packs of fish tickets for you. The Subway Party Deck, Subway Eat Fresh, Kings of Leon, also a 4-pack for the Subway Party Deck. Both of those shows, actually, I think two of the shows are, they're doing 2 of the 3 Fish are putting on in August, and then Kings of Leon later on in the month of August out at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. All right, with that in mind, I got time for you at 239-1070. That email address is jmv@1070thefan.com. Inside the lounge via YouTube Live, and we are on Twitter at JMV1070 as well. We are on the fringe of having a hell of a lot to talk about. So let's be out there first with a lot of our opinions, thoughts, and knowledge. We'll do that with you next at 239-1070.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg, and our summer sale is on fire.
Why so sweaty, Rob?
Because we're coming in hot, Brian, with $9,000 off 2020 EcoSports.
Whoa, slow down, Hot Rob.
No can do. We're coming in hot with $5,000 off new Escapes.
$9,000 off 2020 EcoSports and $5,000 off new Escapes? That's too hot, Rob.
Oh, this fire is downright dangerous, and I'm just getting warmed up. We just melted our prices on 230 nearly new cars, trucks, and SUVs.
With 40 of them coming in hot, under $15,000.
Yes, Brian, feel the heat. 40 new-to-you vehicles just reduced to under $15,000. We have 99% approval, so credit issues won't extinguish this fire. Then we feed the flames when we give you $2,000 more for your trade.
Yeah, let it burn.
Brian, drop those matches. It's a metaphor.
My bad.
Come in before we burn through our inventory at these too hot to touch prices. $9,000 off 2020 EcoSports, $5,000 off Escapes, and $2,000 more for your trade. Your key is waiting at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg.
We're catching up with Jeff Treichel and Aaron Williams from Penn National Gaming's Ameristar and Hollywood Casinos in Indiana. Jeff, talk about some of the exclusive features available through the Barstool app.
Another Barstool exclusive is the Barstool Daily Odds Boost. All gamblers love Odds Boost, and we have the best odds boost that you will find anywhere on the market today.
Very cool. What else?
One other exclusive that the Barstool app has is the Quick Pick 6. It's a system-generated random six-leg parlay in which both novice and experienced bettors can control the legs and the wager of the Quick Pick 6.
So Aaron, once a player downloads the app, tell us a little bit more about it.
It's also super customizable, so you're able to personalize it for your favorite sports teams and leagues as well.
Thanks, Jeff and Aaron. We're excited that Barstool Sportsbook is here in Indiana. Download the Barstool Sportsbook app or head to Hollywood Casino or Ameristar Casino to place your bets today.
Rick Edelman, award-winning radio host and founder of Edelman Financial Engines, takes questions on his radio show. Let's hear his advice on annuities.
Hey, Rick, I'm looking for a good investment. Should I consider a fixed annuity?
Well, fixed annuities aren't really investments. They're insurance products. You'll get a fixed rate of return from them, but it might not be enough to offset taxes and inflation. Most annuity contracts require you to keep the money there for 5 to 10 years, and if you're under age 59 and a half, any withdrawals are subject to a 10% IRS penalty. You should talk, therefore, to a fee-based financial advisor to see if an annuity is right for you, not someone who makes a living earning commissions selling annuities. You want a fiduciary who puts your best interests first.
If you're looking for a trusted partner who's got your back, talk to one of our experienced financial planners by calling 888-PLAN-RICK or visit rickedelman.com.
Summer happens at Speedway because everything you need for summer happens at Speedway. Like drinks. Drinks happen. The freshly brewed drink, the splashed over ice drink, the wake you up drink, the cool you off drink, the make your brain hurt for a minute drink. All poured however you want them, whenever you want them, all summer long. So on every hot day, you have something cold to sip. Speedway, summer happens here. And now, get any size fountain or Speedy Freeze for just 89 cents. Excludes maximum.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with Healthy Indiana plan benefits, we help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers, we're improving lives, we're reimagining health insurance.
The IRS is ramping up collection, and if you owe back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, listen carefully. Before it's too late, check your eligibility for the Fresh Start program still offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problems. Call our special hotline number now and find out in minutes if you qualify for these life-changing debt reduction programs. Business or personal, if you're in a payment plan with no end in sight, have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to know your options, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief and stop collections immediately. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau with a 5-star rating from Yelp, this veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. Call their hotline number now, 800-724-9484. That's 800-724-9484. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-724-9484 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Android users, BetRivers Sportsbook is ready for download in the Google Play Store. Just search for BetRivers and download the app. It's never been easier to get in the game. You'll enjoy the ease of use and critical speed of the new BetRivers Android app. Bet with a winner. Download the BetRivers Android app in the Google Play Store today. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
The Ride with JMV.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I guess the only thing I can say is I'll promise to keep rocking and rolling and making better films.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
And hear them bouncing round the room. The never-ending choral maze. The crystal haze. And hear them bouncing round the room. The never-ending choral maze.
Now, you guys got to be on your toes around here because you never know when I'm going to do this. You never know when I'm going to cue this up. Subway Eat Fresh, the Subway Party Deck. A 4-pack to go see Fish. We're talking about, I think, we got, August the 6th and 7th are our ticket allotment here. Subway Party Deck, 4-pack. This is exclusive to only people who are going to win right here. And the first of 2 4-packs we have to give away we'll do right now to caller number 9. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center, it is Fish. And you can be on the Subway Party Deck right now. It is fantastic. The only way you're going to get there is by virtue of winning these today, and then we'll give you a chance coming up again tomorrow. Doug Thrasher says, hot take me like the ESPN talking heads. I can't do it, guys. I can't. I just can't. Because if you're me, you know too much about what is actually behind the curtain, and so much of it is just phony BS. At the very least, that's exactly, I'm not going to bring an axe to grind phony BS to you. I mean, first of all, I know way too many of you out there, and you guys would know if I were giving it to you that way, but I'm just not. That's not me. So I just can't do it. I mean, we're going to converse and be truthful, or we're going to do something else. I sure as hell can't do it that way. We got another 4-pack to go see Fish, courtesy of Subway on the Subway Party Deck. Subway Eat Fresh coming up a little bit later on in the show. I did want to ask this, too. Actually, 2 things. One, and I guess I'm okay to say this right now, Lynn Gray. If anybody knows who Lynn Gray is, Lynn Gray may want to contact us somehow, some way, like JMV at 1070thefan.com. If anybody knows who Lynn Gray is out there, I'm not going to tell you what it's about or why, but it would benefit Lynn Gray if somebody told Lynn Gray, or Lynn Gray understood to give me a hit up on the email. Lynn Gray. I had no idea how else to put it other than that way. So Lynn Gray, give it a shot right now. Plus this, and this was dropped off last week. If Brian Matthews is out there, I am down with the program. So I'm assuming I got to call Brian Matthews. If you know who Brian Matthews is, like, I give you a great example. John Matthews is inside the lounge on YouTube Live. I think this is a different Matthews altogether. Like, John Matthews is in there right now talking about Scotty Barnes and Jalen Suggs inside the lounge via YouTube Live. But Brian Matthews, if you are out there, you email me too, and we shall get this done. I am down with whatever video you would like to shoot, unless I am nude in it, and then I don't want it. Well, I'll have to think about it. So, yes, Brian Matthews and Lynn Gray. JMV at 1070thefan.com. Send it my way. Appreciate you. Speaking of that, JMV at 1070thefan.com. As a season ticket holder, JMV, how will forfeits affect us? Will we get a refund of that game? Just wondering. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know how that's going to affect you. Hell, if it's not played, yes. Jim Irsay meeting with the media. I don't know if it's complete yet, but it has been ongoing. So he is meeting with the local media, and we'll get the angle from Kevin Bowen coming up at the top of the hour. But there is questions, some Q&A going on about the vaccinations. I think Jim stated a little bit earlier, there was a report that the Colts were among the lowest vaccinated teams in the NFL at this present date. And Jim stated that they are around 50% of the team right now. Is that what Jim said earlier?
He says they're above 50%
above 50%.
Right now.
Above 50%. We'll talk to Kev about that coming up at the top of the hour, because I know that's of major interest and concern for a variety of reasons for you. And the one thing I did want to hit too, and this is from the community in which I am around, which is Center Grove, down in Greenwood and Bargersville. I think most of you know and understand the area. My daughter will be going to Center Grove Central as a sixth grader next year. She has been going to Walnut Grove for the past 2 years, and she was fortunate enough to her first year there to have as a PE teacher Jason Mueller. I got to know Jason Mueller by way of that. I knew a ton of his friends in that community even prior to my daughter Lainey going to Walnut Grove. And the more and more I got to know Jason, the more and more I realized just why everybody loved him. Just how important he was to that community, what he meant. He has been the longtime voice of Center Grove Trojan athletics. I have talked about him. In fact, I brought him up yesterday. He's one of those generationally good dudes. And I know that you can just kind of toss that term around, and really it's kind of one that probably hasn't been tossed around because I make it up. That's just how good of a dude he is. And how he had just such an impact and effect on so many. Beyond those that were a part of his PE classes, in his classes, friends and neighbors. Everybody down there knows of the legend that is Jason Mueller. And this morning I learned that Jason Mueller has passed away, and he has had a myriad of health issues that he has had to battle. And he battled it like nobody I've ever known. Yeah, it was constant. It was painful. But he was always there to battle. Just like he was for everybody else, always there for others. He was there to battle every day. And today that battle ended. But the legend, the thoughts, the endearing relationships, the impact and effect that he had on so many down there, whether it was friends and families, neighbors, students, even kids that have yet to become his PE students, that impact and that effect will be measured not only in the past but in the future in such a profound way. Jason Mueller will be missed. And I know a lot of you that certainly follow either me or others via Facebook or other social media platforms. I know my friend Chris Litzy had tweeted me about that a little bit earlier today. You will be able to read a little bit more. In fact, Kyle Neddenrip of the Star had a story back in May regarding that profound effect that Jason Mueller had on that community and everybody around him, and that will be incredibly missed. What he brought was immeasurable, but his friendship and his dedication to that community, to that school, to those students, to those kids, to those folks down and around Center Grove will be lasting forever. And I was fortunate enough to become friends with Jason, and he will be missed. R.I.P. Jason Mueller.
Summer is here, so kids, tell your parents about the Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
Every play is a play to bet on. Whether it's who scores next, a three-pointer, or a free throw, it could be the play that matters to you. So bet live at Unibet Sportsbook. Live betting options for every moment of the game. Sign up now to get $500 risk-free. Download the app or visit in.unibet.com. Unibet Sportsbook. Crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Indiana. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo.
What is a no-charge appraisal? It's never asking for a credit card or charging for a home appraisal if we can't close your loan.
No risk on refinancing, but I live for danger.
With our rates at a low 2.25%, refinancing with Golden Oak is anything but risky business. Get started today at goldenoaklending.com.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.195% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Hey, Sean here for PAI, WeGrowHairEndy.com. If you are looking for measures in which to either maintain or, well, bring back, regrow your hair again, there are many technologies that Darren Andrews can tell you about at PAI. You just got to give him a call for that private consultation, 888-724-5129. It is true. You're real growing hair again with Darren Andrews and my friends at PAI. Believe me, it does work. Get that private consultation today, 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairEndy.com today.
Dear driver, thank you. Thank you for slowing down when you saw the orange cones and road construction signs. My husband is one of those road workers. And today, you saved his life. If you hadn't slowed down, you would have missed that lane change, driven right into the work zone, and you would have killed him. Because you were driving differently. He'll be at our son's Little League game this weekend. He'll be there to walk our daughter down the aisle. He'll be out there tomorrow, making Indiana's roads safer. Thank you.
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Ray Hobbs, business manager of Labor's Local 741. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio, like where this ad plays. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I, live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Yes, radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, it's JMV for CarX, your local CarX places of business where summer travel road ready specials abound for you, like lifetime brakes is $109.99. An AC inspection for your wheels, $19.99. And how about, speaking of your wheels, $140 off a set of Continental or Cooper tires with the purchase of their premium installation. The Joe Childress Run, CarX locations in central Indiana, they await your ride to keep you summer travel road ready. I mean, seriously, you think about the summer? You're going to go from running around place to place for sports, going on vacation, to right back to school, and what could be neglected is your ride. Don't do it. Send it to a Joe Childress Run location of CarX here in central Indiana. To find that location nearest you, it's CarX.com today.
Wow, I've got a whole 5 minutes before my next call. What should I do? Grab a snack? Nah. Text with mom? That's more than a 5-minute proposition. I have been looking at getting a new bank account. Is that even possible?
Can't believe you have extra time? You won't believe what you can do with it. Open a Regions checking account online in as little as 5 minutes. Then enjoy award-winning service and banking tools and tech that help you live in the moment. Learn more at regions.com/liveinthemoment. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to working at Geico, our best advocates are our employees, like Janet. But since she is so focused on growing her career, we hired an actor to read her story.
At Geico, we really help each other. If anything comes up, we work through it as a group, so we all learn.
As a full-time employee, she can also get paid benefits like medical, dental, vision, and parental leave. She even got a plaque for her desk that says, "I'm kind of a big deal." Yeah, you are, Janet.
Ready to start your career, Indy? We're hiring claim sales and service agents. Apply online today at geico.job/Indy.
Hey, it's Mark, and Friday's Fan Morning Show is loaded. Purdue head coach Jeff Brom, the one and only Mike Golick, Kevin Bowen, Colts lists, and more. We start at 7.
The Ride with JMV.
Whenever we need a brilliant insight, he's available at the drop of a hat.
Hey, Mom! I'm done with my segment!
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back, Bowen. Top of the hour. Jim Irsay meeting with the media. The plan is to have an incredible party for Manning and Edgerrin for the Hall of Fame induction. I would expect nothing less. Three Foolishman writes this: why wouldn't Texas just go independent? Independent. Money split with the SEC, second fiddle to Bama, better rethink the process. Guess both Texas and Oklahoma are thinking about bouncing to the SEC. I think they just need to have one big conference. Just call it like conference freaking everything. Everything. Make all the money. Hey, JMV, it's pretty hard to measure winning percentage, conference finish, level of bowl game versus NCAA tournament advancement. Nah, Tom, I agree with you on that regarding the IU basketball, the IU football question from earlier. There is no question. And I'm going to see how many times I can say question here. But it is much difficult. But when it's asked, that's why I kind of set up all these different angles in which you can look at it. I mean, the football program has, legitimate lofty expectations. And I can't remember them being this large since back in the late 80s when Anthony Thompson was a then Heisman Trophy frontrunner. Just a thought. Steve in San Antonio said, JMV, I love the Colts, but for the life of me, I can't understand why one of the more woke teams. That's the first time I've ever used that term on this show, and you know how proud of that I am? I love you too, Steve. That's the first time I've ever even said that. That makes me feel so good that I haven't. Because, man, life will wear you out if that's all you have to read. But let me continue because Steve does make a significant point here. Why are they so behind with having its players vaccinated does not make sense because they are leaving it up to the players. And now you can see, as Jim Irsay talked about a little bit earlier, there are more than just a couple of subtle nudges here in that direction. If you're just at a little over 50%, I mean, clearly you got a team leader that's probably not down with the program yet. Now, I'm sure as we move forward, right or wrong, we'll probably learn who that is if that continues to be the case. Am I going to have to go again? Like my mom called me this morning and said, well, that Johnson & Johnson thing you had you may need a booster. See, Bobby Jefferson says it'll be the last time you use woke, too. I got faith that it is. I am not down with it. I'm not down with any of it. Seriously, all this back and forth bickering, I've not been a part of it, and I'm never going to be a part of it. There's a whole different realm opposite of me out there, and I don't want to be a part of it. And frankly, I am proud of myself for not being a part of it. Because it'd be easy. You know how easy stuff would be on the radio just to go ahead and puke that out there? And I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do my job, still get great numbers, and not have to go to that easy direction. Why would you want to? It's not me. And it makes me feel good. Brandon writes this. I don't think, regarding the Reds, that they have come back from the All-Star break yet. No, they haven't. Unfortunately, if you're like me, you just kind of wait for crap like this to happen. I mean, you literally sit back and you wait for crap to happen. And I am like that too. Reds have the day off, I believe, right? They get the Cardinals coming up for a weekend set. The Cardinals and Cubs today. But yeah, it's too bad. Now, I did read this, and I don't know if this is true. I can get into this a little bit later on. This is really not anything you guys care about as of right now. It's kind of a throwaway thing because I know a lot of you aren't Reds fans like a couple of you might be. But I heard something, I think it was Buster Olney that was talking about this yesterday, that the Reds may end up buying. They're in this no man's land right now. To me, I'd be hard-pressed, and I can even understand if you don't think, like if you offer Castellanos a deal and he turns it down, where you are right now, you got to trade him. So that to me will be that first domino. They're just in that no man's land of, wow, it feels good to be here, but you're still pretty damn far back. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that. Hey, let me pause. I'll come back. Kevin Bowen's going to join us with what Jim Irsay had to say a little bit earlier. We got a lot to hit on, too, because we're a little over a week away from the NBA draft. And then that is going to, I think, tell us a little bit about what to expect coming up for what is going to be this NBA offseason in tooling this team together and putting this thing together for Rick Carlisle and his first season back as head coach of the Pacers. Kevin Bowen's going to join us next.
Got Medicaid? Got Medicare? Get more benefits. A dual special needs plan from United Healthcare gives you dental coverage, credits to buy over-the-counter products, routine vision care, and much more. If you have Medicaid and Medicare, there's more for you. Call 1-855-556-7598. That's 1-855-556-7598. Benefits and features vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
It's been a rare summer for sports this year, and that has meant tons of action over on PropSwap. I'm Kevin Bowen, and the best thing about PropSwap is you can buy and sell sports bets with the best odds in the country available. And another great thing about it is you can buy or sell these props at any point during a game, a season, a tournament. So with the Colts training camp starting up, you got to think, does a Colts AFC Championship ticket entice you at all? What about a Carson Wentz sleeper MVP? Again, you can sell these tickets at any point. PropSwap is also available with tons of baseball bets with pennant races and MVP races heating up in both leagues. And I'm a huge fan of the weekly golf action as well. You like 2 or 3 guys at the start of the week on the PGA Tour? Buy those tickets, and then come Friday or Saturday, you can sell them if you want. Folks, there has never been a better time to join. New users over on PropSwap get a free $100 match bonus for signing up, but that offer expires soon. So check out PropSwap.com or download the free PropSwap app today.
This year, a new tradition will be born at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. NASCAR and IndyCar take on the road course over Brickyard Weekend. Tensions will run high and paint will fly as drivers like Elio, Logano, Jimmy, Bubba, Newgarden, Elliott, and more battle it out to be crowned rulers of the road. Don't miss the Midsummer Mayhem at the racing capital of the world. It's where history will be made and where racing never stops. August 13th through the 15th. Tickets at IMS.com.
John here for LD Smith Plumbing. That's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. Hey, listen, both ways I've had this too. I mean, the easy part of it, and they were so great at replacing my garbage disposal. The more difficult part was coldest day of the year in February. It was on a Sunday morning. I have no water. I had to make the call. And you know what happened? Lance and his local team got right out there and got the job done right. I don't know what I would do with that. Well, I know what I'd do without him. I wouldn't be able to flush my toilet, and that was something I couldn't deal with. Seriously. 317-284-9526. They're local. They're the best. It's LD Smith Plumbing. And also right now they're looking for service techs. So if you need a change of pace in your career or you want to start a new one with great folks, great pay, incredible benefits, LD Smith Plumbing is the place for you. 317-284-9526. That is the number to always have handy. They're the best. LDSmithPlumbing.com today.
You need a work schedule that fits your life, and Amazon has shifts that help make the best use of your time. Whether you're a night owl, early bird, weekend warrior, or somewhere in between, discover the benefits of thinking outside the 9 to 5. You decide whether to seize the day or the night so you can get back to what matters most. Go to Amazon.com/shifts to learn more. That's Amazon.com/SHIFTS. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
You've undoubtedly heard of the calm before the storm? Well, Michaelis is the calm after the storm. More than 3 decades of restoring damage from wind, rain, and hail. They've got your back, not to mention your front, side, and roof. It's why home and business owners beat a path to Michaelis' door, because it's always answered around the clock with welcome arms. Your port in the storm. From site security and tarping services to complete restoration work, they can handle anything Mother Nature throws your way. Seasoned and trustworthy pros who are never deterred by a little wind and rain, or a mother load of it for that matter. Water, storms, fire, and foundations. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
My crusade for the perfect pizza crust has led me here, pining over a backyard wood-fired oven. But how do I bake this build into my budget? Where can I get some solid guidance on my finances? Who can help me understand if I have the dough for this?
A little financial advice. At Regions, we know that's important because your Life Green checking account comes with Greenprint, financial planning with a banker who will help you create a personal budget and live in the moment. Make your appointment at Regions.com/Greenprint. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Jeff Bassett here with Bassett Services. We are here to take care of you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We may doze, but we never close.
Bassett is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, WIBC, HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
And you can tell Rolling Stone magazine that my last words were, I'm on drugs.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Maybe track down Lynn Gray yet? This? If you know Lynn Gray, apparently we're looking for Lynn Gray. Honestly, I don't even know if Lynn Gray is male or female, though. If you know Lynn Gray, have Lynn Gray email me. I know that sounds really weird, but I don't know how else to put it. I don't mean to sound weird. Yeah, I saw this a little bit earlier, too. So we'll get Kevin Bowen on here in just a smidge, but Jim Irsay met with the local media today, and among the topics would be one of the lowest vaccinated teams in the NFL. It would be that of the Colts, and Jim was asked that and addressed that. I saw this via DeAndre Hopkins, and Kyle, you pointed this out. DeAndre Hopkins had tweeted this in the last 15 minutes. I never thought I would say this, but being put in a position to hurt my team because I don't want to partake in the vaccine is making me question my future in the NFL. And by all means, then you're just going to have to bounce, I guess. I got no problem with you questioning, but the NFL is going to move on, and they'll move on without you. That's just kind of the way that it is. You know, either that or, I mean, you roll the dice and, you know, hope something doesn't happen. But, I mean, there's no bones about it. The NFL will move on. And move on without you. David Bell of Purdue is going to join us coming up tomorrow. Wells is going to join us coming up tomorrow. Pat Sullivan's in studio tomorrow, too. I haven't seen Pat in over a week. We got the smoke off with Mike Wells coming up next week, too. Sullivan Hardware and Garden. We are smoking on the big green egg. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. He is Kevin Bowen, who joins us now, 1075thefan.com. Any takeaways from that meeting with the media with the Colts owner Jim Irsay earlier today?
Well, I guess we'll start with just what you hit on there, the whole low COVID vaccine numbers for the Colts. And Jim was very firm in his stance of encouraging, wanting his players to get vaccinated, and I guess just people in general. And was very honest. I think we all know this. We certainly saw with today's news as impacting, teams and paychecks, which is probably the most important aspect of all of this. But basically, Irsay said, if your choice isn't to get vaccinated, it's just going to be a very difficult season for you. I've made the analogy before. If you're vaccinated, it's like being in the fraternity. If you're not, it's like being a pledge. I mean, that's what some of these rules look like, and that's even more apparent today with what you're seeing. And now you're impacting others. It's not just you individually. Now, again, you're taking away paychecks potentially, the forfeiting of games, things like that. I mean, that just takes it to a whole nother level. So he definitely hit a lot on that. I just asked him in general, just his expectations on this season. He is extremely, extremely high on this defense. That was the first thing he said. I mean, it wasn't, necessarily offensive line or Jonathan Taylor or things like that. He just gushed and went on and on about his defense for several minutes. And then I would say the last thing that kind of just stood out to me is just Darius Leonard, Braden Smith, the expectation. They want to get those deals, extensions done by the start of the season. Nothing set in stone right now. It's the old game of compromise for parties. But, they expect to get that done before the start of the year.
It's Kevin Bowen is with us. You heard me read the tweet from DeAndre Hopkins, and I said this: the NFL is clearly cool with playing the heavy in this. I mean, they want to take some of that pressure of, hey, you guys need to do this off. It appears to me the organizational brass and the coaching staff of each team, but I mean, it seems like this thing is squeezing tighter and tighter around those that are going to refuse not to. And, DeAndre Hopkins says, has him thinking about his future in the NFL. And the NFL probably doesn't, they'll move on regardless. They're willing to play the heavy in this.
100%. And I will say, I don't know the last time, John, the NFL has taken such an aggressive stance. Obviously, this is, unlike anything that they've had to deal with as a league. But still, I mean, I don't know oftentimes that they really stand on that line opposite the players. And it kind of references what I said earlier. Like, if you really want to punish a team, you don't fine a team. You take away teams' draft picks. That will really get a team to start getting its act together. Well, whether that was Spygate, Deflategate, etc. If you really want to piss off players, it's not necessarily a suspension or, you're going to, test them every day, things like that. If you start threatening paychecks and you start threatening their team and just the general kind of level playing field of a forfeit or, losing home field to the playoffs, something like that, that is really, and ultimately comes out of paycheck. That is where you have crossed the line where you're going to see these DeAndre Hopkins tweets and you're going to see more of them. I think I'm looking for a Darius Leonard.
I kind of wondered the same thing. I mean, you wonder about the Colts and the Colts team leaders and which one of these team leaders have and haven't in this case.
Yeah, and I'm not going to pretend to know many Colts that have been vaccinated or have not been vaccinated. I know DeForest Buckner has been, and Jim Irsay talked about team leaders, talking to players that haven't been and just trying to explain to them. And Jim did say that the Colts numbers are above 50% right now and feels like they are rising. I mean, I think with what we saw kind of at the start of June where they first laid out those bylaws, if you will, of, hey, if you're vaccinated, you can do this year. If you're not vaccinated, these are the rules that you've got to live your professional life by. I think that started some of these players being like, oh, man, that sucks. Like, I think I'm starting getting vaccinated. And now you see today's news, it almost seems like kind of the final straw by the NFL.
It is. Yeah.
You almost hear a parent say 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike. Like this is that third strike of, hey, you're going to your room.
I mean, you imagine inside a locker room if somebody that didn't gets you docked a game check and a forfeit. So
right.
I will
say this, John. Yes, and that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, man, you imagine some of these conversations inside of locker rooms right now and next week when players report for camp. We never saw a team have to forfeit last year. So, like, to get to that level, I mean, it's pretty extreme. So, the Colts played a game with, a couple players on the COVID list. Like, that happened. So, going full forfeit, I just can't imagine a team having that poor of COVID numbers within a week and in positive testing a year out. Now
what would it take? What would be the number that it would take for a forfeit this season?
I mean, I don't know, 8-10 players, something like that. I don't know. I mean, the practice squads, I believe, are still going to stay the same in terms of numbers. I mean, there's 16 guys in your practice squad, so couldn't you just promote?
I wish I would say it's unbelievable, but I tell you, I'll be damned if I've seen absolutely everything. I don't even know if I can use unbelievable or incredible or never going to happen or any words or terms like that any longer because we've seen it all.
Right. It seems like we would have seen it last year. Like why, right. What was it, Baltimore maybe or Tennessee had that game postponed to a Tuesday or something. And I know you flip-flop some bye weeks and things like that. So, maybe it's just not something you want to do, especially with adding an additional game this season. But to me, if you didn't have to forfeit a game last year, I mean, you really have got to be extremely low vaccinated number. Like that's got to be the first, kind of bar for your team. And so Irsay said today, whatever, over 50% of the team is vaccinated. Let's say that's the 53-man roster. Obviously, you can still test positive with being vaccinated, so you got to acknowledge that point. But let's just say for some reason, whatever, that you can't. Now you're saying 20-some guys are not vaccinated. I would think in my mind you'd have to have about 10 of them, test positive in 1 week. And then having said that, I still think you could promote guys from your practice squad. This is me just spitballing here. So I would just be surprised if we got to that point. But the fact that they are even saying this publicly, I'm just waiting for the NFLPA and, like I said, certain Colts players to chime in on Twitter.
Well, I'm assuming either you're going to get it on Twitter or we're going to hear something coming up at some point next week, right? From Colts players.
Right. Yeah. Player report days on Tuesday. So, yeah, we will hear. I believe Leonard, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the guys we were supposed to hear from on Tuesday. And we'll hear from, I think Buckner was on that list and just, the 4 or 5 big names. So unfortunately, this is a topic. I don't think it's going to impact games. I really don't. I wouldn't have said that, late July this time last year, but it is certainly a huge storyline entering camp just because the news is coming out today. There are players that obviously strongly disagree with it. All of that.
Yeah, no doubt. Kevin Bowen with us, 107.5 thefan.com. Anything that we haven't covered? I mean, we've hit the contracts. We saw Fred Warner get paid, so Darius Leonard is obviously on deck, and Braden Smith at some point, and then ultimately we're going to see Quentin Nelson get his money. Anything else besides that and just the overall look of the arm and the throws of Carson Wentz that we will looking at in an ideal fashion at the beginning of camp next week?
Well, I'll go back. I mean, obviously the Achilles rehab for Eric Fisher would be up there as well. But I'll go back to kind of what Jim Irsay said today. When I asked him that question, I mean, the sound of it, I mean, he sounds like this is a top 5 defense. And I don't know if I'm there. I definitely am not there, but I don't know if I see that. I think the losses of Danico Autry and Justin Houston are pretty notable in the here and now. I get down the road. You've certainly upgraded in terms of 5 to 7 years what your defensive line could look like. But besides DeForest Buckner, it's a very and Grover Stewart, it's a very unproven defensive line group, especially when it comes to the pass rush. Now, I think at linebacker, I think at safety, you have some really high-level players, but the depth there isn't great, especially at linebacker. So that's where I'm just a little bit of I can't go there with Irsay. I know the run defense has been outstanding under Matt Eberflus, but with this defense, particularly the pass defense, when they've played above average offenses in the NFL, they have not been even an average defense. It's been a little bit subpar than that. So you look at the schedule, and it's much tougher than last year's schedule when you played the easiest in the NFL. So that's where I'm certainly more improvement mode. Who steps up for you on that defensive line? Who emerges? Does Tyquan Lewis earn that second contract? Does Kamoko Terry prove he can stay healthy and provide that kind of unique pass rush ability that he has? Is it some of these guys, kind of lower-level signings of an Antoine Woods or Isaac Rochelle, or does Ben Banigou make the team? All of those questions, I'm just not ready to commit to that as much as the owner is.
So Kevin Bowen joins us. Let's just say, and whenever that happens, Zach Ertz gets cut. Will the Colts have any interest? I mean, trading, no. Having to pay anything as large as what his salary looks like right now, no. Certainly trading for him, no. But if he gets cut and he's just kind of floating around out there, would that spark any interest?
Yeah, I think if he's willing to take a pay cut. But I also think, John, he's very similar to the skill sets you have. In Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox, they are pretty similar to Ertz, whereas Kylan Granson is much different in what he brings to tight end. So to me, I always felt like the need at tight end this offseason was the basketball type of guy, kind of more of that athletic, one-on-one, kind of beat you with speed sort of tight end. And that's where Granson comes into play. I think, when we talk about, guys that can, huge X factors for the season, we often mention Kamoko Terry, we often mention Paris Campbell. Mo Alley Cox is kind of an intriguing one for me. It's like last year, the first month of the season, he was one of your better players in the team. But then, it just kind of tapered off. Does he take that jump finally that we see him string it together consistently to where, Jack Dole's getting up there in age, that you have a guy that can take over as kind of that 3-down tight end for you moving forward. So I'm not as you stand on the table in the Ertz camp as maybe some others are, just because I do think he's pretty similar to what you have.
I understand. I do get that part of it. But the thing I'm thinking of is you have, and I certainly think you would give this quarterback the absolute most security possible. And there is no question throughout his tenure in Philly up until last year when it all just went down the drain for a variety of reasons, Zach Ertz has been that. And that's why I can't get it out of my head. I get what you're talking about, and I certainly get the fact that, his production has been circling the drain too compared to what it used to be. But if it is free and easy. Nothing quite what he's getting paid right now, just to give your quarterback a security that he has had in the past while being successful. That's what makes me wonder, I guess, more so than anything else.
No, and I think that's a good point that you bring up, and it probably goes back to a conversation we had in the spring, John, of like, I felt like arguably outside of pass rush, I thought your number one goal for this offseason once you made the move for Wentz was to provide support for him. Now, internally, with Jonathan Taylor in that run game, and in my opinion, the most diverse and best backfield in the NFL, and then obviously what you have on your offensive line, that's a lot of support. I felt like at wideout and tight end, though, they were pretty content on just in-house stuff. Yes, Kylan Granson was drafted, but, I mean, he's still a fourth-round pick at tight end. Wideout, they didn't do anything of substance. Yes, they re-signed T.Y., but, again, they're just kind of running it back there. The hope is obviously Paris Campbell stays healthy, and then they didn't draft the wideout until the 7th round. So I definitely hear you out there, and that is kind of a question that I have is I feel like the goal for the Colts this offseason should have been to continue to kind of lessen what you put on Carson Wentz's plate. Again, a large chunk of that comes from what you already have with that rushing offense. But wideout and tight, especially wideout, I thought wideout needed another move. I mean, you are, and boy, I know this is just music to your ears, but you're banking on Paris Campbell staying healthy.
We're always, they're always in need of a move. I mean, it never fails.
So that's where I would, wideout and cornerback are the two that I kind of sit here and thought that you could have had another move there. I've spoken a lot about pass rush and felt like there was a veteran market out there to tap into. Wideout maybe a little bit more than corner, though, as another March move that I thought could have been there.
I guess I think about it this way too. I mean, you get Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox, and what's this? The rookie you just talked about too.
Kylan
Granson, yeah. And you got those three, and while that is great, you talk about the wide receivers with no margin for error, especially with injury. I mean, you look at that between inexperience and not really showing consistency, and then the injury possibility there. I mean, just a couple of reasons, and you're right, it probably won't happen. They're probably not the least bit interested, but it does make you wonder because we have followed this team, and inevitably they're going to take an injury hit unless we're proven wrong at some point. It is just going to happen, and that's a position that makes you wonder, considering everything anybody ever talks about offensively is how much that Frank likes to use his tight ends. Well, I mean, you got inconsistency, injury possibilities, and, just a lack of overall been there and done that with that group right now that kind of makes you wonder why a move like that wouldn't make sense. But anyway, that's why I brought it up. So,
no, and you bring up a good point, John. Internally, I know this name won't do anything for anyone. They do think something of Noah Tungiai.
I wondered if you were going to bring him up, yeah. So
it was the waiver claim last year, just before the start of the season, from the Eagles. He was an undrafted free agent out of Oregon State last year. We hardly ever saw him on the field, but he is another guy that they like. So, if you have an injury at tight end, it is kind of like linebacker and safety for me. It's like you show me the starters and you feel pretty good about it, or at least content with it. But if one injury does occur, I think that's when you're in a little bit more of a scramble mode, because especially the injuries to Doyle or Alley Cox, now you're saying, hey, Kylan Granson, go be an inline blocker. Well, I mean, Kylan, he's more Eric Ebron in that. Kylan Granson is 6'1" and 238. I mean, that's not what you drafted him to do.
Hey, defensively, before we get to the Pacers, and Kevin Bowen joins us, if somebody were going to have a finally breakout type of season among this trio, would it be Rock Yassin? Would it be Kamoko Toure? Would it be Ben Banogu? Any of those three, which one would have the higher probability of doing something that I think most around here believe that any of the three would probably not be doing?
Yeah, I would say Toure, for me, it's all health for him. Yes, we saw him last year for like 7 or 8 games, but he just was not healthy last year for those 7 or 8 games. When healthy, he's proven that he can be a disruptive pass rusher. Now, again, you're banking on health, which, take that for what it's worth. Whereas with Rock right now, I think Rock goes into training camp, John, and I think he's your 4th cornerback. I think it's Xavier Rhodes and Kenny Moore, and then it's T.J. Carey ahead of him. Your 4th corner doesn't play, really, at all. So he's got to go earn that job there. And then Ben Bannigo, I frankly think it's a coin flip that he even makes the roster. So he exited the spring. I'd put at least 4 defensive ends over him on the depth chart. So to me, it's Toure. He's the most important of those 3 as well. I guess Bannigo plays the position that's really important. It's the same position as Toure. But Toure, to me, is he needs to be of those 3. Can Rock help you? Yes. Can Rock help you down the road, especially at Xavier Rhodes' age? Definitely. But I'm not as sold on that. Health-wise, that's not an issue. He's going to get opportunity. But as long as Kemoko Ture's ankle is okay, I think he's the fastball you bring on the field for 3rd downs. That's strictly what it is. He doesn't need to be a 1st or 2nd down guy for you. You know what you're going to get. You should get some single teams based off of DeForest Buckner being in the interior and things like that. And as long as the ankle is good to go, he's got an opportunity to really help this defense.
That's Kevin Bowen with us. Before I let you go, how much will what the Pacers do at 13 and this draft next week dictate to us the direction in which they're going with Rick Carlisle and your number 1 with this roster?
Well, I guess you mean like run it back, that aspect? Or I think it's definitely win now. I'd be surprised if they went full project.
Would you – like Jay Michael, he told us, and this is like in a ever-evolving situation, but thought maybe, trading out of 13 and, trying to find more of an established already player was what he was thinking. And I think, like most Pacer fans out there that really want to see them draft at 13, to me it's one of 2 reasons, Kev. One, you're hoping for, that generational type of lucky player at 13, as we've seen with, whether it's Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker type of player. That's what you're hoping. But I think the other part of it is, I think people want Kevin Pritchard and Chad Buchanan to prove to them that they're capable of doing something with that pick and turning something around and having that 13 transition at the very least into something rotationally good. So I think that's what the fans are looking for. But it just kind of makes you wonder if the Pacers may not be looking in a different direction than that.
Right, and I've certainly heard that, but my opinion is this: I think 13 has got to be you're trying to hit a home run. If everything works out, you're not going to be drafting this high again. And there's a big difference, I think, between drafting late lottery and drafting 21 or 22, something like that. So to me, I get that whatever, a Rick Carlisle hiring might indicate that you're more win now, and he's spoken so highly about every player on this roster seemingly, and Kevin Pritchard has built this roster, I think, with the belief that there is enough talent. I would disagree with that, but he feels like there is. But having said that, you just aren't in this position many times to try and hit that bullseye. It's difficult to hit it, but you can't pass that up. So to me, I would almost have these blinders on and say, I cannot be looking at, all right, win now and trade back and get this veteran and all of that. No. I think you have to have more of a long-term view of it and realize that in this market, you're not acquiring a star via free agency. To do that, you have to do it through the draft. I mean, you look at these teams and their 2 best players in the finals, Devin Booker and Giannis, obviously they were both draft picks of, I know Phoenix population size is a big market, but we've never looked at them as a perennial contender in this league. So that's the route that I would go. But it does seem like there is more of a, trade the pick for Thad Young like we saw a handful of years ago. There does seem to be that sort of thinking because of just how this draft unfolds.
Man, I think of it this way too. I mean, and I've said it as well, and I've said you have to find, if you pick at 13, at the very least, this player has to be rotationally good. And we can debate whether or not they've had rotational guys that they have selected in the draft over the past couple of years. I would disagree if people would suggest they do, but rotationally good is where I think the lowest level of the bar is going to be set. I mean, you look back at some of these 13s, and we bring up the good, but, man, there is some bad mixed in there too.
Definitely.
This is an incredible crapshoot. It is, and especially looking at what they may or may not have to choose from going into next week.
Definitely. I mean, trust me, by no means am I acting like this is easy, but just because it's difficult doesn't mean you don't try. I mean, I guess to kind of put it bluntly, and they haven't drafted a player that's been in their top 7 guys, in quite some time. So
got to be fortunate.
That has to.
You got to have good fortune doing this. Like Seaberg says, Giannis was a 15 pick, and I talked about this yesterday. You got to have, as smart as that was of a selection, there's a great deal of good fortune that led that Milwaukee team to, as of 2 nights ago, winning the NBA championship. And there's a lot that plays into it. I can't remember the last time we saw this Pacer team be fortunate on anything.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's luck involved in everything, and you can find some wild draft stories. But I just look at 13, John, and knowing the market that you're in right now, to me, yes, a rotational player from a baseline standpoint that has the potential to grow into a star. I think that is the hope there. And, Ryan Carr and Kevin and Chad and Kelly Krauskopf and everybody over there, yes, it is on you to find that. I mean, you get paid that type of money to sift through, the Tyler Hansboroughs that were drafted in that range versus the Devin Bookers that are drafted in that range, or, whoever else have, just been terrible picks late lottery, and then the other picks that have been Bam Adebayo and Donovan Mitchell and, Michael Porter and guys like that. So there's, I think, a lot of pressure on your scouting department because they have not been successful as of late at all. And that absolutely has to change.
Yeah, the one guy I've talked about the most, Davion Mitchell, in a lot of these so-called mocks, has slipped down to the Pacers at 13. He's not worked out for him yet, has he?
No, I have not seen. I'm trying to think. Moses Moody may be the biggest name.
Well, yesterday, Duarte is in that neighborhood from Oregon. He worked out yesterday. Kispert's been in that neighborhood. He worked out there yesterday. I don't know. Has the kid from Australia, Giddy? I don't think he's worked out for him yet. Wagner hasn't. Has Jalen Johnson from Duke is another guy that's supposed to be in that particular area. I don't think he has either.
Yeah, besides Mitchell, I'm really big on James Bouknight out of UConn. I feel like scoring-wise, he can fill it up for you. I don't know exactly position fit, needs to improve his jumper, things like that. But, boy, if Mitchell fell to 13, that would be a dream, in my opinion.
I mean, to me, he adds something even without scoring.
Oh,
he adds something that this team does not. They don't have a shred of that defensive type of perimeter mentality that he showed at Baylor. Not a shred of it right now.
I mean, he made those Gonzaga guys at times look like it was, he was on the varsity and guarding a freshman. I mean, it was like the high school. I mean, that's what it looked like. I just think he'd give you an on-ball presence that this team desperately needs right now. And not to mention, shot the three really well and scored at a pretty good clip and on the biggest stage, which to me, that really stands out. I can't get out of the Wagner, what happened late in that Michigan loss. Just looked absolutely terrible late in that game.
I said the same thing about Wagner as I said about Kispert, too. And I love Corey Kispert. That was kind of an eye-opener, seeing how he got clamped against Baylor. And it was a similar situation, as you mentioned, with Franz Wagner.
Yeah, you don't want to fall into you got hot for 3 weeks in March, but when you are pretty solid throughout the year and then you get to those moments, to me, that's kind of what separates you on a board, and that's why I'm just super high on Davion Mitchell.
It's Kevin Bowen, 1075thefan.com. We kept him a little overtime there, but it was interesting considering Jim Irsay met with the media a little bit earlier today and all that we have going on around here. Kev, I appreciate you more than you know, and we'll see what we're doing coming up next week because it's going to be hellaciously busy.
It is. I will, talk to you from Grand Park next week, John.
Got it, buddy. Thank you.
See ya.
He is Kevin Bowen, 1075thefan.com. I got Anything Goes coming up at the top of the hour. See if we can't nose you guys into that with Anything Goes coming up around 5. I've got another 4-pack of Subway Party Deck tickets to go see Fish. And then I got a 4-pack to go see Kings of Leon. Both of those shows separately at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. It is the Subway Party Deck, Subway Eat Fresh. Your chance to win when you hear a re-entry song from either group a little bit later on. Back with you next.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Think you have the best sports trivia knowledge? Listen to The Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe from 7 to 10 a.m. and call into the pop quiz for your chance at a Jiffy Lube prize pack. JMV's Backyard Broadcast are back, and the Fan has partnered up with Connecticut, New Belgium Brewing Company, Ford's Garage, and Evan Williams. Visit 1075thefan.com for your chance to host a future broadcast this summer.
For more info, click on 1075thefan.com.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo.
What is a no-charge appraisal? It's never asking for a credit card or charging for a home appraisal if we can't close your loan.
No risk on refinancing, but I live for danger.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Refinancing with Golden Oak is anything but risky business. And with our mortgage rates at a low 2.25%, you can save hundreds each month and skip your next 2 payments. And remember, our local lending experts speak mortgage and love translating for our customers. Removing risk from your next purchase or refi means you can find your thrills elsewhere.
Skydiving? No. Cliff jumping. Wait, hang gliding.
Aren't you afraid of heights?
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
Get started today with our simple zipline tool at goldenoaklending.com.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.195% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
BetRivers Sportsbook has supercharged its app for Apple phones. And you can download the update today from the iOS App Store. Loaded with performance improvements, the new BetRivers iOS app makes placing your bets a seamless experience. Bet with a winner. Download the new BetRivers app from the iOS App Store or update your app today. Must be 21 or over to play. Playable only in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Your friends are hosting an online viewing party to watch the NBA playoffs. But if your slow upload speeds were to make you sound like an evil robot...
Come on, get the rebound.
Whoa, who is that?
I'm sorry.
You're not an evil robot. You just need better internet. AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience with 25 times faster upload speeds than cable. Visit att.com/25 times faster.
Limited availability in select areas based on Internet 1000 wired upload connection speed. First major cable providers 1 gig service with uploads of 35 megabits per second. Restrictions apply.
Hey, John for PAI. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com. Your real growing hair again with a private consultation at 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
PNC Bank believes that if your smartwatch can help you avoid overdoing it during a workout, then your bank should be able to help you avoid an overdraft fee. Introducing Low Cash Mode, available with Virtual Wallet, the financial watch-out that gives you advance warning, multiple options, and at least 24 hours of extra time to help avoid an overdraft fee. Because we believe how you handle overdrafts should be in your control, not just your bank's. And now through September 28th, earn up to $300 when you open and use a select new Virtual Wallet product. Simply establish a qualifying direct deposit. To learn more, visit a branch or pnc.com/checking offer. Virtual Wallet with Low Cash Mode from PNC Bank. One way we're making a difference. Low Cash Mode is a service mark of the PNC Financial Services Group, Incorporated. Virtual Wallet is a registered trademark of the PNC Financial Services Group, Incorporated. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Hey, JMV, always full of good ideas like this one. Diamonds Direct, your big diamond destination. Rare diamonds, bigger than ever. You will love it, too, especially if you're going for that perfect gift at some point this summer. Birthday, popping the question, anniversary, all need big-time gift-giving ideas, and I got them for you, too. Diamonds Direct, we're talking same thing. Diamond shapes. Diamonds Direct has all the popular shapes people are asking for. Ovals, princess cuts, cushion cuts, emerald cuts, and, of course, the round diamonds. The selection is absolutely unmatched, just like the price tag. The value, the warranties, the guarantees, all at one place. So if you need that home run gift-giving idea this summer, I got one place in mind for you. That's Diamonds Direct. Online, diamondsdirect.com. Store hours and more. Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. The housing market is on fire, and homes are selling day one on the market with multiple offers. You really need a leg up on the competition to make sure it's your offer that gets accepted. And you really need to be making sure you're working with a strong mortgage lender. Don't lose out on the perfect house. Get pre-approved today with our 5-minute loan approval, only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you could trust like Bassett Services Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Hey, you gonna stare all day or you gonna buy something? I'm gonna stare all day.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I'm popular. Hey, Alex Golden, by the way, I forgot to hit you back. If you're doing your podcast tonight and you need me, just text me and I'll do it. I think I got my thumb up my big old rear end later on tonight. I'm not doing anything, so I'm good to go. Just go ahead and go ahead and tweet me. No, don't tweet me. Go ahead and text me, and we'll do the Setting the Pace pod later on tonight. Now, the reason why I'm reminded of this is because he chimes in at JMV 1070. I don't hate Davion Mitchell, but he's not someone I would trade up for in the draft. Some of these mocks have him sliding to 13. That's the only reason why I'm bringing him up, because they're not going to trade up for him. Alex Golden continues. The only player I think is worthy of moving up is Moses Moody. I don't really know that there's too much that looks worthy to me upon moving up 4. Alex continues. If Mitchell is there at 13 and that's who they select, I think that is fine. I'd be all right with that. I do wonder, and I sit here and I hesitate to believe that he's going to be available at that point. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. JMV, I listen to you daily. I just overwhelmingly hear positive expectations for Carson Wentz. Yes, Frank Reich was his coach when he did well. Yes, he was a head case and could help. Realistically, he hasn't been an above-average quarterback in years, and his overall record is 35, 32, and 1. That's the definition of average. Why are we hyping him up for something that he is not? Let me stop right there. First of all, there's no hyping up. There's a great deal of hope. And, Willie, hope is what you get is when you don't have an alternative. And that's not a backhanded compliment at Carson Wentz. But there is hope that he can become something that he has been that he wasn't a year ago. The reason why everybody is hyped up is because that's what you hear from the Colts as far as their belief is concerned. What was their other option? I mean, Willie continues, I would rather have grabbed Darnold or wait on Rodgers or Watson. I mean, you got to get somebody. And they had no connection with Darnold. And listen, I'm not telling you this is going to work out. It better work out. It better work out for a variety of reasons. But their options, Willie, were not robust. So that is the reason why. And again, it's hope. It's hoping that he can be what he was. And I say this all the time. I think it's going to be tough, even in comparison to what they got a year ago with a 38-year-old quarterback. Rivers put up some really good numbers. To me, that is going to be tough for Carson Wentz production-wise to live up to. But that was going to be the alternative. I mean, you saw what Detroit ended up getting for Matthew Stafford. You know, that's not happening around here. I mean, this is something that in the now they're going to have to do. He's going to have to live up to the expectations that they have. I just don't hear, I guess I don't hear this. Like, I know that I don't say it, therefore I don't hear it, and I don't listen to a lot of other stuff, and here's the reason why. Because I don't want to end up parroting what other people are saying. Like, I'm not going to, be on the road coming in, listening to what somebody else is saying, and then start out my show spending 25 minutes talking about how that's right or wrong. That's not what I do. I mean, I come up with my own angles and opinions. And my own angle and my own opinion regarding Carson Wentz in this case is, I mean, he's got to translate into something. But again, the offseason and trying to find a replacement for the quarterback that you thought you were going to get 2 years out of, that you only ended up getting one out of to try to bridge that gap between a guy that quit and then a guy that wasn't going to live up and Brissett the expectations that you could not put back into that spot. And trying to be in a position to draft for your future. I mean, you just got to try to put it together right now. And it's more hope than it is anything else. I don't hear, I guess, the same, this is absolute can't miss around here like other people do. I think most of the people are realistic about it as I am. And I say it often, and it may wear you out, but there's some things that you have to see to believe with this group. And the quarterback position playing at that level again is one of those. I haven't seen it, I guess, Willie, as it being, as absolute with Carson Wentz performing at a higher level. I haven't seen it where most people believe that's absolutely going to be the case. I mean, that is certainly the hope. There just were not a lot of alternatives out there either. Not a lot of feasible alternatives. Hey, Willie, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for listening as always, brother. Like, maybe I don't hear it right. Maybe I should listen to a lot more. I don't hear, the absolute, well, this is going to work and what a great move this is. It was a move that they had to make, to me. It was a move that they had to make because going into year one of Phillip Rivers, the hope was that 1 year turns into 2 years, even though the deal was 1 year. That he showed that he could play for more than 1 year, that he could produce for more than 1 year, and that'd give you more time to figure out exactly what you're doing, as I mentioned, to bridge that gap. And now you've got to try, and you have tried a different way to try to do that, and we'll see if that works out. But, yeah, it's far from an absolute. All right, quick break. We'll come back. We got Anything Goes, top of the hour. I got more Subway party deck passes to give away. I shall explain, and we will return next.
Summer is here, so kids, tell your parents about the Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
Plug into pro soccer this Saturday when Indy 11 hosts Keep Indy Live Night versus Birmingham Legion FC. Tickets for the 7 p.m. kick at Carroll Stadium are available now at Indy11.com. Help Indy 11 celebrate the local music scene with help from the Indiana Independent Venue Alliance. And check out the match from the new Heineken Party Deck featuring $3 beverages throughout the evening. Tickets at the mic remain limited. Score yours today at Indy11.com or inside the all-new Indy 11 app. Indy 11, we're back home again.
Hey, JMV for Big Red Liquors. You know I love the place, right? Cold beer, hot prices, and I love what they're doing this summer as we round out the month of July. Your chance to win one of 3 big green eggs they're giving away at their 58 Central Indiana locations. They're giving away 3 big green eggs throughout those locations. You're going to love it, too. I mean, 3 in the month of July, and it's free to sign up and to win. You got to be 21, though. No purchase necessary. And believe me, you're on the road to going there anyway, because whether or not you're talking about a Thursday night or you're talking about the weekend, you set the proverbial party table by virtue of Big Red Liquors, and you should, because they have anything and everything that you need to be party ready. Plus, they're going to give you a chance to win Big Green Eggs. Month of July. That is their special at Big Red Liquors. For more info, it's online, bigredliquors.com today.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with Healthy Indiana plan benefits, we help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers, we're improving lives, we're reimagining health insurance.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo.
What is a no-charge appraisal? It's never asking for a credit card or charging for a home appraisal if we can't close your loan.
No risk on refinancing, but I live for danger.
With our rates at a low 2.25%, refinancing with Golden Oak is anything but risky business. Get started today at goldenoaklending.com.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.195% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
At Bank of America, we believe in the power of action. That's why we've expanded our efforts to advance racial equality and economic opportunity with an additional $1.25 billion to drive impact.
I'm Andy Krask, president of Bank of America Indianapolis. My teammates and I are proud of our ongoing partnership with Employ Indy. Together, we're connecting more people to new skills and better jobs. What would you like the power to do?
Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
Hey, John, for LD Smith Plumbing, here's that number, 317-284-9526. I don't want to make sure that you're prepared. I do. Prepared with the best. Because this plumbing thing, you don't think about that often until something goes haywire. And to have Lance and his local team at the ready for you at 317-284-9526 is essential. Easy, difficult, emergency gigs, anything plumbing-wise, you let the experts and the best here locally handle it for you. That's LD Smith Plumbing. Plus, if you're thinking about a new gig of your own, a new job status with great pay, incredible benefits, and just a fantastic working environment, how about a service tech with LD Smith Plumbing? That number, 317-284-9526. Lance and his local team, they're the absolute best. Online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
It took us years to find the most perfect soft pretzel bun for Culver's Pretzel House Pub Burger. Oh yeah, years. That's how crazy we are about this burger. Seared beef plus not one, but 2 kinds of cheese. Aged Wisconsin cheddar and our signature cheddar cheese sauce, topped with house-pickled onion, bacon, tangy mustard bistro sauce, all served on pure pretzel bun perfection.
It's a mouthful. Culver's Pretzel House Pub Burger, now for a short time. Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome to Culver's. There is definitely an art to handcrafting a rich, creamy Culver's concrete mixer. Start by scooping our so incredibly fresh vanilla or chocolate frozen custard. Then add whatever mix-ins you crave. Oreo, salted caramel, or cookie dough. Hello! Blend till you get the perfect balance of goodies from top to bottom with every blue spoonful. Indulge in a thing of beauty.
Come to Culver's and let us create a concrete mixer masterpiece just for you-know-who. Welcome to Delicious.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Barstool Sportsbook app yet, what are you waiting for? It's just a few hours until the MLB first pitch, and you don't want to miss out. Pick up your phone, download the app, open it up, and get your bet in now.
Join me tomorrow. We're going to talk to Kevin Bowen. You know, Colts camp is getting very, very close, and I think we're going to spend a lot of time talking Colts. Join me tomorrow.
The Ride with JMV.
Don't read your email, because I'm really butthurt when you read your email.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
So is this what we're dealing with now? Our air quality, is this smoke from a distant fire? This is the Sanford Townsend Band, by the way. This is considered yacht rock right here. Did you realize that? Is this smoke from a distant fire we're dealing with here?
According to my phone, it says the air quality in Indy here is good.
Really now?
Just a cloudy day.
Hey, there's nobody out there, by the way, that's going to give you this as a re-entry song when we are dealing with smoke from a distant fire. Whether it's in what? Minnesota or further out west, right?
I haven't heard about any
it's
fires.
smoke. Oh, no. I think that's true. Yeah. I think there's a air quality alert today because of that. So you were unaware of this, so you didn't even get the connection I'm making here in returning. All right. This is what you see out here is smoke from a distant fire. Many of those. I'll tell you what, one time we were going to Alaska, and we took the incredibly convenient route to go to Alaska, which was a great time back in 2014. The convenience of the route we took was Indianapolis to Houston, and then middle-ass seat next to two drunken frat boys spilling their cranberry and vodka all over my knee. And I had eaten at a Cajun place, and this is really unfortunate. I don't even know what I was thinking. I mean, you know me, right? A home game guy. I ate at a Cajun joint, a famous Cajun joint in the airport at Houston, and had to sit on that for 8.5 hours on our way to Anchorage, Alaska. I would almost rather have jumped out of the plane. It was brutal. But the one thing that was interesting is you could see there were wildfires in the Rockies, the Canadian Rockies, and we were flying over, and you could actually see the planes below dropping their chemical water, whatever it is, on the fires. You could see them below you. It was incredible.
Could you see the fire or was it just smoke?
You just see the smoke. It was smoke from a distant fire. So I think that's what we're dealing with today. Yeah, Calvin says there's an air quality alert up here in the armpit today. Wait a minute. Calvin Fitch is up in the pit, Northwest Indiana. Shout out to Tony Donahue, Portage. So you're telling me that Portage has an air quality alert up there today. Shout out to the armpit in Portage. All right, here's what I got on the other side. You guys good to go? And this is going to be just anything and everything here. A variety of whatever you want to hit on, certainly with a focus with our sports that we love. We haven't done it in a while. It's supposed to be getting sponsored, which means we'll have to do it a lot more. I just don't want a watered-down product here. It is called Anything Goes, and Anything Goes will be kickstarted coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Remember how it goes. We just bring you on board, and we'll do it until you guys are worn out with it. We bring you on board. We don't check you in. I don't get a name. You just call 239-1070. We put you on hold, and we're off and running. And I'm going to come to you without addressing you by name because I sure as hell won't know it. That's why it's Anything Goes. Anything Goes at 239-1070 is next.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo.
What is a no-charge appraisal? It's never asking for a credit card or charging for a home appraisal if we can't close your loan.
No risk on refinancing, but I live for danger.
With our rates at a low 2.25%, refinancing with Golden Oak is anything but risky business. Get started today at goldenoaklending.com.
NMLS 114937, 2.25% fixed, 3.195% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? A recent study found consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in. Sell it to We Buy Any Car. Learn more and get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
Hey, John here for Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141. We're making sure that your cooling unit's doing its job during the summertime. So we're like, close to mid-summertime, if not there right now, making sure that it maintains its overall usage and or efficiency. If it's not, you're not going to be comfortable, and it's going to cost you money. You don't want that. So tune it up with the best. John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141. If you might need a new system, you can get it also for the best prices out there. That's John and Chris Love, the absolute best at Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141 and online, love-hvac.com today.
Hey, there's Big Joe, and as summer heats up, so does the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using my bonus code, Big Joe, and your first wager is totally risk-free up to $600. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, and more. And when you register with BetMGM, you'll also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the king of sportsbooks takes every play to a whole new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and enter my bonus code, Big Joe, to get back up to $600 on your very first wager. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time into showtime. This is a new customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Indiana only. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. The last year's been tough, right? I mean, routines have been messed up. A bunch of us just didn't take good care of ourselves. Franciscan Health gets it. That's why they came up with the Do Good, Feel Good Challenge. It's a 30-day challenge with easy tasks to help you change for the better. Simple things like eating a little better or just moving your body. The Tom Dockage Memorial Golf Outing is part of my Do Good, Feel Good Challenge. Join me for that one July 12th. Make it part of yours, too. Sign up for your 30-day challenge at dogoodfeelgood.org.
John for PAI, it's WeGrowHairIndy.com. Your real growing hair again. It's multi-layered hair grafting, artist robotic FUE, laser hair therapy. Hey, if you're looking to me right now inside the lounge on YouTube Live, who out there would not want this head of lettuce right here? Seriously. You guys, you can't see it if you're listening to us, on our many vast ways, radio-wise or other. But if you can see it right now, you know that you would love to maintain this head of lettuce when you're 51 and over. If you are looking even younger at losing your hair and you don't want to, and you want options, 888-724-5129. You, too, can look like this. Darren Andrews of that private consultation is WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
There's Pablo in his natural habitat, opening his internet bill in fear. He just saw his 12-month promotional price ended. Uh-oh, and he just discovered the equipment fees. Back away slowly.
If your internet bill drives you wild, just remember, you're not a bad person. You just need a straightforward price. Get AT&T Fiber. Unlimited internet with no price increase at 12 months. Visit att.com/no hidden fees. Limited availability in select areas.
The VA loan is truly one of the best benefits of being in the military. Apply online today at HeroLoan.com.
NMLS number 1326241.
Hello, Greg Bassett with Bassett Services Heating and Air Conditioning. Serving Central Indiana since 1978. Visit us at BassettServices.com.
Bassett Services is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, WIBC, HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
It's a battle of divisional contenders as the Brewers host the White Sox. Saturday evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
All right. So Todd Meyer was in here, and he agrees with Kyle that the haze that we see out there today is just a cloudy day and not smoke from a distant fire. Somebody give me a little backup here. I didn't just dream that this morning, did I? Come on. All right, anything goes, 239-1070. I don't check you in. You just pop on here and go off on here, and we talk about literally anything. Now, before we get into anything goes at 239-1070, you guys hang tight on hold. Damon, I want to make sure you're cool with this. So Damon Dobbs, check that. Damon Dobbs had sent me a tweet. And he says the following: I have tickets for the Indians game tonight at 7:05 to give away. 5th row behind home plate. Now, this is up to you. I mean, you out there listening. He says text or call him, and he puts his number here, Kyle, so can I go ahead and say his number over the air? His number's right here. He says, I'll send the tickets. Broke my arm. I can't go. So Damon has a broken arm. He can't go, but he would like to text somebody these tickets. So you want me to give this number? All right. I want to see who does this right now. So Damon, let me know who gives you a call and wants to go to the Indians game tonight at 7:05. 5th row behind home plate. Damon has broken his arm. I mean, this is classic anything goes right here, by the way. But he has broken his arm, cannot attend. He invites anybody that would like to go, and I'm assuming first person that gives him a text or a call that he responds to at 317-209-4303. 317-209-4303. Now, I nor this station or this building or anybody around here has anything to do with this outside of Damon Dobbs. So if you guys are doing this and somehow your ass becomes in a sling, it is not on us. But Damon's being a nice guy who just broke his arm, and if you want to go, that is the number. You can text or call him. And I want this twofold here. I want to make sure this is legit. So if you do call, let me know that this is legit. And Damon, if you get calls and or texts, I want to know who you ended up giving these tickets to. This is curiosity. You like my disclaimer, by the way? See, my disclaimer is not like there. I'm sure a bunch of lawyers out there going, I don't know about your disclaimer, JMV. My disclaimer is, if you get your ass in a sling, it's not on me. Will that fly in court?
I think that's going to be in every contract from here on out that you sign. You have to make sure it's in there.
If you get your ass in a sling, it's not on me. You let me know. Everybody is chiming in on the West Coast fires and wildfires. That's the reason why we see this purple haze all up in my brain here. Damon Dobbs, 317-209-4303. So I need to hear from all parties. Those that pick up the tickets, and Damon, I want to know how easy it was to give those things away. Just let me know. And I hope your arm gets better too, brother. All right, with that, 239-1070. This is Anything Goes on a Thursday afternoon after 5. You are on the air. Who is this?
What's up, man? This is Levon. How you doing?
How you doing, Levon?
I am doing great, but I will get better. I actually have a request. I don't know if this can get done or not.
All right.
But I'm hoping that we could actually contact the Colts training staff and have them to run that stretch play the way that Peyton Manning used to run it.
Stretch
because
play.
I think that we actually have We got T.Y. He can actually still be as quick as Marvin. And we've actually got the offensive line that can actually give him time. We've got, people on the backside, either Pittman or even the new tight end that can actually hit that back end seam.
Okay.
And we've also got 2 running backs that can actually, give them that threat on either side that they're going to run to break it for either 7 to 15 yards. But the key is they've got to coach him to extend that ball like Peyton Manning used to extend it, because he used to hold it out there for what seemed like eternity. And then before you know it, the defensive backs are giving you that old sugar honey iced tea look because, Marvin's gone and the ball's going over the top.
Hey, Levon.
Anyway, we can get them to institute that.
Do you remember this, though? That was the most hated offensive play call during that era. Do you remember how much we heard about how everybody hated the stretch play? Do you remember that? Everybody hated it. Hated it back then.
But I also remember especially the game when Dallas came here and Marvin Harrison ate Deion Sanders up. And I'm telling you that, and plus I ran it on Madden a lot, so I know for sure to work.
Okay, so we got you went to stretch play. I'm going to document the anything goes topics here because this one's interesting. I don't think that I can't remember the last time. I'm assuming the last time we saw it was the last time we had the Manning era. I don't think we've seen it since, have we? In any form or fashion?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And like I said, and even if, and I know they've got their own, play action plays, but like I said, they've got to coach him to hold that ball out there because, like I said, the defensive backs and the linebackers are licking their chops when they're seeing that.
All right. Levon officially wants the return of what used to be the dreaded call, the stretch play. Levon, I appreciate you more than you know, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. The stretch play. It was hated. You guys remember how hated that was? Indeed, most people are telling me right now the haze is the purple haze. Well, that's a different haze all up in my brain. Jeff Hansen says, JMV, the haze outside was indeed due to the fires out west. It was easily seen this AM as the sun was rising. It's tougher to notice as the sun rises higher above the horizon during the day. Hey, I almost show as if I've got a little bit of smarts real good with this because I got Kyle over there dismissing my claim. Todd Meyer came down here, shook me off too. Thank you, BT. 100% the haze is smoke from the West Coast, or as I put it earlier, Sanford Townsend Band, smoke from a distant fire. All right, got an update for you real quick before I get back to the phones. Ethan has contacted Damon Dobbs, and Ethan is going to the Indians game tonight. That literally took 3 minutes. Ethan is going to the Indians game for Damon Dobbs because Damon broke his arm today. Well done, everybody. And I hope you feel better, Damon. And enjoy, Ethan. Line 2's anything goes at 239-1070. Go ahead. You're on the air.
I think Pacers need to get rid of Malcolm Brogdon. This seems like a little bit of a malcontent from what I've heard. It seems like Golden State Warriors are kind of dead set on wanting to get Miles Turner. If they're willing to give up both draft picks, I'd be willing to give Miles Turner, Malcolm Brogdon for the 2 picks, and they're willing to do that.
I think the one I heard was, and thank you for the call too, it was Turner and the 13 for the Golden State higher selection and Wiseman. Was that what it was? That was a rumor like a month ago. That seems outrageous. What's up? What do you need? $1? All right. What's over there in my wallet? Go get it. Sean in Indy writes this: if Levon ran it on Madden and it worked, then it works. I love that. Are you going to try to get that one that's like that Cheez-It bag that's hanging down there that got stuck? All right, go get it. Go get it. You got 2? All right, go get it. Anything goes at 239-1070. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hello?
Go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh, okay. Did you want my name or you don't?
No, yeah, go ahead. I'd love to have your name. Yep.
Oh, Leslie. I just want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
You crack me up. You said a few minutes ago, you get your ass in a bind, that's on you.
That's my disclaimer. You like my disclaimer? Because I don't know. I don't know.
Pretty cool, JMV.
I don't know if that'll legally hold up in court, though. If you get your ass in a sling, it's not on me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one because you got to be careful texting people and meeting people online and stuff and everything. I just cracked my behind up down 81st Street. You cracked me up.
Leslie, that's
Have a
awesome.
good one.
Thank you. You too. That was my disclaimer. I have some lawyer friends out there that could probably help me out. I don't know if that would hold up. That's awesome. JMV, can I bum a 20? You guys on YouTube Live just saw my daughter come in here and start ripping dollar bills out of my wallet. You know, it's funny, too. I'd never carry, like, real money. I'm not a Bitcoin guy or anything like that, but I never carry actual dollar bills. And here's a true story behind it. I blank you not. This is so us. She is down the hall. Our machine right now has a Cheez-Its bag that's kind of hanging by and she's trying to shake it loose right now. It's like hanging. I love it. I love it. All right, anything goes. Line 4 at 239-1070. You are on the air. Who's this?
JMV, this is Bill.
Bill, thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
I would like to appreciate how lucky we are in this market to have Mike Chappell tell us what we already know about the Colts, but explain it to us in a way that we can really break it down and understand. But the thing that really gets me going from a radio listening standpoint is 1 minute he sounds like he's got the phone way over here, and then the next minute it sounds like he's chewing on it. Do I need to talk to you, or do I need to call up Greg Rakestraw and just find an intern, find somebody to hold the phone for him, or get him like a cheap microphone that we can understand him better?
Let me tell you this. Rakestraw's got phone problems of his own. Next week, I don't know if you were privy to this, next week, when he comes on Tuesday, he's going to be using the CB because his phone is not going to be allowed any longer because it sucks beyond suck. I mean, it makes Mike Chappell's in Beach Grove sound pristine. So it may be Mike just kind of moving that little, the microphone inside the phone. Maybe he's moving it around a little bit, different locations along the face that might at times muffle the voice as opposed to letting it be heard fully. I'll check into that, though.
Like I said, I love hearing him, but I hate listening to him.
That's anything goes. We'll let Mike know. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. So here's the list of anything goes calls so far. The return of the stretch play, my disclaimer, and Mike Chappell's usage of the phone. That is not bad at this point. And we also got tickets by way of Damon Dobbs to Ethan for tonight's Indians game. Steve writes this. So JMV are Mike Strabavi, Stoney Burke, or the Christian brothers off limits and anything goes. Strabavi and Burke, shout out to the Indiana State baseball team back in the day. No, really, there's not much. I mean, you can call in. I mean, I don't want you to go deeply rooted jackassery here, and I will be. I'm really pissed if I end up in somebody's office by way of what you say. I mean, we know the guidelines here. These aren't exact rules, and they're certainly not hard and fast. I just don't make me end up in somebody's office by virtue of what you say. That's pretty easy because I don't want that, because that would constitute a meeting, and I am trying to go. I'm trying to go into my – how many years has it been since we had a meeting? Because meetings suck, and I don't want to have one, and I don't want to attend one. We haven't had a meeting since we've been together, have we?
No, not since I've been around.
So I got to keep
years.
this streak alive. So if you guys make me have a meeting, I am not going to be happy. All right, line 5, anything goes at 239-1070. You're on the show. Who's this?
John, it's Greenwood Red. I'm going to tell you right now I'm a little bit salty. I've got 2 or 3 things I want to get off my chest.
Okay.
The first one is The Pacers are absolutely going to mess this up. They're going to take Franz Wagner at 13. They can't help themselves. It's the only option that's even possible, and it'll be terrible. The second one is anybody that lives south of Greenwood, anywhere close to 31, it takes 40 minutes to get from 31 to 37 to go south, and it's absolutely just frustrating beyond all get out.
There's no good way. There's no good way. You come out right out because you got to turn left onto 37. I mean, yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal. Off of Banter Road, yeah. Yep.
Took me 40 minutes today. And the last one is I just want to tell you, I appreciate what you do so much. It's a fabulous show. It's great to actually hear somebody do local sports that doesn't have to have their wife on. And that smoke from a distant fire is the smoke from 12 to 3, where that guy's only right 52.4% of the time. Thanks a lot, John. I'll talk to you.
All right. So there's a perfect example of how I'm going to end up in somebody's office. Perfect example. That's it. Don't break my streak, guys. Come on. Line 1's anything goes at 239-1070. You're on the air. Who's this? Hello. Yeah, go ahead. You're on the air. That's Greg Rakestraw's phone. We'll have to go. Line 2's anything goes at 239-1070. Back to you. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, it's Bill. How you doing, man?
Hello, Bill. Good to hear from you.
Hey, man, I'm right outside your studios or the office building's front door at the downtown Indy concert series and everything. So,
hey, Billy, what is that? Yeah, I saw that down there. What is it exactly?
Every Thursday from 4 to 7, they're going to have a concert down here, and it's free. Today it's a jazz band, and they're doing really, really well. And it's just a nice environment, nice day for a concert. It's great.
Yeah, it looks like it's incredibly enjoyable down there right now. It does.
Hey, man, I wanted to give you a shout. Today is an anniversary. On this day in 1934, former Mooresville resident / semi-professional baseball player / public enemy number 1 by the FBI, John Dillinger, was shot and killed right outside the Biograph Theater in Chicago by 30 FBI agents. And that's what happened. And but the one thing about him is he was a really, really good baseball player. And if he wouldn't have spent most of his 20s in jail, Crown Point specifically, and shout out to local guy Diamond Dan Garza that's on TV now playing the part of the police officer that was captured by John Dillinger. It's on the National Geographic channel. So shout out to Diamond Dan, former professional wrestler. But Dillinger, they caught him that day because he had gone to Wrigley Field to catch a Cubs game, and then afterwards went to the Biograph Theater to see a movie and was gunned down by 30 FBI agents. So the moral of the story, JMV, is that if you're a Cub fan, it can kill you.
Billy, appreciate your anything goes calls. I'm keeping track. Anything goes at 239-1070. Bill, thank you. By the way, there is a concert going on below us right now out on the circle, which is nice. Line 3, we go on anything goes. Hello, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, it's Jeff from Muncie, home of the Ball State Cardinals. Chirp, chirp.
Shout out Mike New and the Cardinals. What's up?
Hey, appreciate you, JMV. Just calling right now. Milwaukee won, the NBA title, blah, 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 and all this flopping and all that crap that goes on nowadays. I would pit the 1971 trio of Bob Dandridge, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robinson against Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You would take that year's Milwaukee Bucks over this one.
1971 over this group right now easily. Elbows and bruises easily.
Let me see. I'm thinking about that. You had, as you mentioned, Bob Dandridge was on that team. Obviously, Jabbar was. Oscar was on that team. Was Lucius Allen of UCLA was on that team. Oh, John McLaughlin. John McLaughlin was on that team too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say the deciding factor there would be Middleton against Oscar Robertson. Oscar would dominate him. Would beat him up, if anything.
Well, and thank you for the call, too. Your phone's kind of cutting out. But, man, people tend to forget this. Like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the most indefensible. Actually, not even the most. The skyhook was indefensible. Nobody ever had anything for that. Never. And to me, having that type of weapon, and he was still younger in his career. I mean, it wasn't, completely polished in fashion, but it was still pretty damn good. That's a hell of a group, though. I just don't remember. I remember Jabbar playing. I remember Bob Dandridge. I remember Dandridge, I think, more with the 1970, what year was this? The 77 Washington Bullets with Wes Unseld. I think Dandridge was on that team. Kevin Greavy on that team. That's interesting, man. That's why it's anything goes. Line number 4 at 239-1070. It's anything goes. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, John, this is Gabe.
Hello there. Go ahead.
Got two things. Slug Bug Red, and am I the fourth caller for the fish tickets?
I can't. I got to go by what I've told everybody, that you got to hear a fish song upon re-entry to the show.
Hey, I'm always hearing a fish song. You should know that about fish fans.
Hey, how much weed smoked at a fish show?
No comment.
Have you partaken in weed smokage at a past fish show?
No, sir.
No, sir. You sound like a guy that's not telling me an ounce of truth. Speaking of weed, not an ounce.
I'm telling you the absolute truth. Slug Bug Red.
All right. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Slug Bug Red. Slug Bug Red. Line 5's anything goes. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Damon Dobbs.
Damon, how quickly did you get a call and get somebody to take those tickets off your hands?
Dude, I think it was ringing before you gave out the number.
That's awesome.
It was that quick.
That is awesome. All right, so let me get the story here. This is Damon Dobbs, who earlier had tweeted me that he had broken his arm, therefore could not go to the Indians game tonight. 5th row behind home plate tickets, and he was going to be kind enough to offer those up to somebody that was listening, and he gave out his number, his contact info, and you can't go. So in place of you, who got those tickets?
Well, Ethan called me right away, and he's heading down from Carmel, and told him I'd send him a little text with the picture of the tickets, and he's got them. And one thing I wanted to say is, I got 28 text messages and 20 phone calls in 5 minutes. But what was great was more than half of them said, hey, I hope you feel better.
Oh, that's awesome.
Take care. So, I mean,
hey, Damon, I will say this, buddy. I pride myself on this from 3 until 6. I've got a really good group of people that listen. I do. There are some good folks out there. That makes me feel good right there.
You do. So I figured that's the easiest way to get rid of them and get them used, and somebody they'll appreciate it. So hey, I appreciate you.
I'm thinking like Bowen does that prop swap thing, and I think that CBK down in Martinsville does some kind of swap shop deal. Yeah, we could just start doing something like that. I think some kind of swap shop occasionally, just like giving away stuff where people can't go and giving away. You know what I mean? We could do something like that here. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
There's something to think about.
How'd you break your arm, brother? How'd that happen?
I was riding a Lime scooter right in front of the Emmis building on the circle.
No.
And on Friday night, and a kid jumped out between two motorcycles, and I swerved to miss her and went over the handlebars and broke my arm. So,
Damon, damn.
I'm telling you what, 53 years old, brother, never broke a bone in my body till I rode one of those stupid Limes.
You're not going to get back on that thing ever again, are you?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Damon, well, keep us updated, and I'm glad you got those tickets away. And more so than anything else, it's one thing, it feels good about the volume of calls you got, but people wishing you a quick and healthy recovery is pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thanks.
Yep. Damon,
Thanks,
all right, bud. Appreciate that. Damon Dobbs right there. I'll be honest with you. So I come out of this building, I don't know, anywhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock in the morning every Saturday night / Sunday morning, Kyle. And I don't think there's been a weekend so far I haven't seen somebody wreck one of those. And oftentimes you're going fast and you have no idea the cracks in the sidewalk, the elevation changes, just flat holes in the sidewalk. Man, I did a lot of stupid crap that I've documented on this show before back in the day. And if I were younger, I'd probably be out there on one of those right now. But, man, there's no way I'm getting on one of those. Damon Dobbs, everybody. Man, over the Lime scooter handlebars. Let me take a break. If you're on hold, I'll get back to you. I'll extend this. How can we extend this, though? I'll tell you what, we will. We'll extend this a little bit further and give away some stuff as well. Back with you next.
Don't lose out on the perfect house. Get pre-approved today with our 5-minute loan approval, thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it.
Oh.
Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Ward Daniels, business manager of Labor's Local 120. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Hey, John here, Backyard Bourbon Broadcast number 2, coming up, I believe, next week, right? So we got to draw a winner for number 2. And what you get out of that is me and 30 of your friends in your backyard, and we have a party. Brent Halverson, Randy Strand, they bring to you from Heaven Hill Distillery, Larceny Bourbon, Luna Azul Tequila. They bring the Evan Williams, too. You've got New Belgium Brewing and Ryan Stoltz. Fruit Smash, Hard Seltzer, Voodoo Ranger Beer, Fat Tire as well. You got to get hydrated. Joe, John, and Dennis with that great hydration, the best in Connecticut water. And Richard from Ford's Garage in Noblesville brings all the food. All we need is a place to do the show and have a party, and that could be with you in your backyard with 30 of your friends. The Backyard Bourbon Broadcast. We shall announce a winner, I believe, coming up tomorrow. And if you need to sign up, do it right now, 1075thefan.com.
When it comes to working at Geico, our best advocates are our employees, like Justina. But since she is so focused on growing her career, we hired an actor to read her story.
At Geico, I receive support from those above me. If you want to move up, you really have that relationship and encouragement.
As a full-time employee, she can even get paid training and tuition reimbursement. Yep, there's no stopping her now. She's even taken over book club.
Ready to start your career, Indy? We're hiring claim sales and service agents. Apply online today at geico.job/Indy.
The Indiana State Fair is back with Hoosier Spirit to Spare. 18 spirited days, 4 spirited weekends. The taste, the sounds, the midway, the music, the smells, and smiles of summer return. July 30th through August 22nd at your Indiana State Fair. Save big on advanced discount tickets till July 29th at IndianaStateFair.com. We're celebrating the Hoosier Spirit at your great Indiana State Fair.
It took us years to find the most perfect soft pretzel bun for Culver's Pretzel House Pub Burger. Oh yeah, years. That's how crazy we are about this burger. Seared beef plus not 1, but 2 kinds of cheese. aged Wisconsin cheddar, and our signature cheddar cheese sauce, topped with house-pickled onion, bacon, tangy mustard bistro sauce, all served on pure pretzel bun perfection.
It's a mouthful. Culver's Pretzel House Pub Burger, now for a short time. Welcome to Delicious.
Hey, John from
There's
PAI.
definitely an art to handcrafting a rich, creamy Culver's concrete mixer. Start by scooping our so incredibly fresh vanilla or chocolate frozen custard. Then add whatever mix-ins you crave. Oreo, salted caramel, or cookie dough. Hello! Blend till you get the perfect balance of goodies from top to bottom with every blue spoonful. Indulge in a thing of beauty.
Come to Culver's and let us create a concrete mixer masterpiece just for you-know-who. Welcome to Delicious.
Hey, sorry about that false start. JMV here for PAI. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com. If you want the options of your real going hair, I've given you examples you can see right now if you're watching on YouTube Live, but I can certainly tell you all about it, and certainly Darren Andrews can, with everything to help maintain your hair growth, to regrow it as well. So if you're losing it, multi-unit hair grafting, artist, robotic FUE, it works. If you want the option of your real growing hair again, call Darren right now, 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Amazon is offering sign-on bonuses up to $1,000, plus get up to $20 an hour for select roles. The best part? We're hiring near you. So start now to take home something greater. New, higher wages with a sign-on bonus, a range of real benefits, and career growth opportunities in a top-rated workplace. So earn more and see how great pay and sign-on bonuses can lead to a greater life for you. Go to Amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, my name is John Hassey, and I am owner of Hassey Construction and president of Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Every year, some unethical construction companies illegally pay workers cash under the table. That puts businesses Nowika represents that provide a good living wage, pay payroll taxes, and employee benefits at a major competitive disadvantage. These companies rob our state of over $405 million every single year. Imagine what could be done for Hoosiers with that money. Please visit indianacip.com/tax fraud to learn how you can take a stand.
The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go!
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Subway Party Deck, the exclusive Subway platform. 40-person private reserved covered concert deck. Private cash bar exclusively for those on the Subway deck. And the only way you're going to go is win the 4-pack of tickets here. This is for the Fish Show coming up in August, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Again, the Subway Party Deck, Subway Eat Fresh. This is Fish, and it is called Heavy Things. Yeah, I know. I got to get on the Subway Party Deck, too. That sounds like a good time. It's exclusive, and I love going to shows when everything is convenient and you're not, like, elbowed. You know what? It sounds fun right here. So we'll get the ninth caller in here and give those 4-pack of Fish Subway Party Deck passes away. Subway Eat Fresh. Got Kings of Leon coming at you before the end of the show as well. John Martin tweets this. Somebody out here in Bargersville has some serious farm cash out here crop dusting with a helicopter. I actually, John, saw that the other day. No, actually, I was going to say elbow to a-hole, not nut to butt, which does make me laugh. Shout out to my wife because that made me giggle. Man, you guys. Anything Goes continues for a final segment at 239-1070. Line 2, you're on the air. This is Anything Goes. Hello?
Hey, it's Todd from BFE.
You got it, yes. Me too.
A little potpourri here, but one of these kind of caught my ear. John McLaughlin, which is a great mention by you. I'm pretty sure from Johnson County
He
and
is.
Franklin Grizzly Cub.
Absolutely.
Is he Level's age? I don't know.
Not well. He might. He might be younger. That's gonna piss Bob off the next time we talk. But I'm not sure. He's in that neighborhood. Yes.
Yeah, that's a joke. But but a lot of people don't know he was a Grizzly Cub. Item number 2. When you guys change frequencies, will this phone number change?
That it better. I mean, I guess what am I going to 239 something else? I don't know. I mean, my Twitter handle's probably going to have to change. I'm going to have to make that change. I'm the man in the mirror. Make that change. That's going to be me.
Those are the behind the curtain things that nobody really thinks about. I can tell you, you got verification from Wilkes and Wright, and Wright not only did not take the jacket off, he had the jacket buttoned, and you are completely correct on the
smoke from a distant fire, which was it was kind of my reason to play Sanford Townsend Band too. So yeah, made sense. Smoke from a distant fire.
You're my man. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, thank you from BFE right there. Me too. From Pete, JMV, the chat was nuts today. Where was the lounge police earlier? Apparently, we had 2 guys inside the lounge that wanted to fight. I think John Matthews wanted to fight more than anybody. John Matthews maybe liked the fight guy inside our lounge here. John Matthews is, I'm assuming, right, the YouTube lounge equivalent of Clint in Dazed and Confused. I'll be watching you, Newton. I only came here to do 2 things. Drink some beer and kick some ass. Looks like we're all out of beer. I'll be watching you, Newton. That's John Matthews, I think, inside our lounge today. He was Clint. I'm dazed and confused. I'll be watching you, Newton. Line 4 is anything goes. 239-1070. You're on the air. Who's this?
JMV, this is not Donnie Baker's brother, BTR.
I got it. Go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to comment. I didn't get a chance to call. Well, I tried to, but yesterday's show was spectacular.
Thank you.
A lot of great content, this, that, and the other. And I had a comment on yesterday. What period of time was you and Chappell were talking when the Colts might consider moving?
It was late 90s, early 2000s. It was basically, it was up until the Manning era really got established. And you didn't have to worry about, non-sellouts or anything like that. And still, you would get the occasional, and I always kind of put the onus on the LA Times that always kind of had that, and Sam Farmer, who a long time has been the NFL reporter out there for the LA Times, even when they didn't have an NFL team out in that particular market. But it seemed like that it would come out maybe once a year after the season that LA really wanted to get a relocation NFL team, and the Colts, before that Manning era really took shape and locked in here, the Colts team was the most often mentioned at that time. So late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, I was thinking, back, what was that, 95, we went to AFC Championship with Pittsburgh?
Yes, exactly, 95 season, yep.
And, one thing about that game, I thought we kind of precipitated the instant replay rule when Cordell Stewart stepped out of the back of the end zone and caught a touchdown, But, I don't know. I just thought, okay, after that game, it might give Irsay a lot of hope and not doing that, but chatter, all that stuff. But one other thing.
Yo.
I love you, man.
Right back at you, brother. I appreciate you more than you know. That's very nice. We have a really nice, anyway, you're going to find some a-holes, but we got a really nice, understanding audience, and I dig that. I really do. I did want to mention this again, too, as we close this out, and I talked about this a little bit earlier, but Brian Pickus had tweeted me about 15 minutes ago with the following. JMV, to show the greatness of Jason Mueller, he was one of my best friends since 1987. But in 2001, when I was moving back from Ohio, he offered to help me move and drive the truck both ways. Who does that? Jason does. R.I.P., my dear friend, and that's Jason Mueller. And I don't even want to say he lost his battle, because there is nobody that has been tougher and has battled through such a myriad of health situations in the past couple of years as Jason has. He was my daughter's PE teacher at Walnut Grove. He is the longtime voice of the Trojans athletics at Center Grove, and he is a friend to everybody. He is, with all that in mind, the human that we would all strive to be on our best day. And much like Brian and a lot of you out there, I feel incredibly fortunate to have known him, and like everybody else as well out there, had our friendship be as impactful and effective in a positive way as he has been. And that was his life. And yeah, this morning, Jason lost his battle. I don't even want to say lost his battle, but you're not going to find a better dude. And I want to give, obviously, our thoughts, our prayers to Jason and Hannah and his family and everybody who are incredibly hurting right now in Center Grove. Because you're not going to find too many people better than Jason Mueller. He will be missed. Quick break. Back with you. Final time next.
Summer is here, so kids, tell your parents about the Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
Got Medicaid? Got Medicare? Get more benefits. A dual special needs plan from United Healthcare gives you dental coverage, credits to buy over-the-counter products, routine vision care, and much more. If you have Medicaid and Medicare, there's more for you. Call 1-855-556-7598. That's 1-855-556-7598. Benefits and features vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
The athletes have trained and are in Tokyo ready to compete for the gold. DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is giving you a shot to stand on the podium. This week, DraftKings is giving you 100-1 odds on the United States medaling at least once this year. Place any pre-event wager of $1 to be eligible to cash $100 in free credits if America wins any medal this year. That's 100-1 odds on an American athlete to stand on the podium and receive gold, silver, or bronze this week. Sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook now to get in on all of the action. All you got to do is download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code WFNI when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits if America wins a medal. That's code WFNI for a limited time. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You got to be 21 or older, live in Indiana. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for all the details. If you have a gambling problem and want help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's JMV for Andy Moore Buick GMC. It's 131st at State Road 37 in Fishers. Let's make sure that you understand when you see that construction that there is no problem, there's no issue whatsoever. Easily right through it, and easily to the best car buying experience and the best deals you will find anywhere. Telling you, Eric Wilson is the guy that you need to talk to. He and his staff will make sure you get in the ride of your choice at a spectacular price with an incredible car buying experience. And right now, by the way, nearly everything on that lot is 0% for 72 months. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, I'm going to give you one-stop shopping with the absolute best right now. So tell Eric Wilson I sent you to Andy Moore Buick GMC. That's 131st and State Road 37 in Fishers.
Who is running your business anyway? You may ask yourself this sometimes as the owner of a business or partner in a practice group. Take your internet and phone service. You've pivoted to do more business virtually. But when dealing with the hiccups that come with that, your managed service provider puts the burden on you, saying,
check your gateway and firewall.
Frustrated, you say that's what you need them for. But what you get back is...
Okay, put in a ticket and I'll get back to you next week.
Maybe it's time to get control.
This is Troy Barceau, owner of Teltech Business, specialist in premium internet and voice over IP. Local companies like Landman Beatty Lawyers and B&W Plumbing appreciate our quick, easy-to-understand customer care team. And you will too if you give us a try. With Teltech Business, there's no consultant double talk or call center runaround.
Take control and start saving today. Let local professionals help you with your business, internet, and VoIP needs. Call Teltech Business for a free review today at 317-390-8585.
Hi, we're OfferPad, the new way homes are sold. Go to OfferPad.com, tell us about your home, and we'll send you a great cash offer. Or, if that's not your style, we can also list your home with tons of free OfferPad services, free handyman fixes, house cleaning, yard work, and more to get your home show-ready. We can even advance renovation costs to maximize your home's value. Whatever way you want to sell, you're sold with OfferPad. Sell your way today at OfferPad.com. Terms and conditions apply. Real estate brokerage services provided by OfferPad Brokerage LLC. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey, it's John for Big Red Liquors. Cold beer, hot prices, even hotter prizes all month long. We're going to close out July with this opportunity for Big Red Liquors here. They're giving away 3 big green eggs. All you got to do is stop by any Big Red Liquors location, one of the 58 here in Central Indiana, and get yourself signed up. It's absolutely free. You got to be 21 to enter, and there's no purchase necessary. Believe me, you're already going to go there anyway, right, to get yourself set up later on tonight. Maybe get yourself set up for the weekend, because that's where you're going to find everything that is necessary to have yourself a fantastic evening, especially at home, in your backyard, in your home, wherever, with friends. It always starts. The epicenter of fun begins at Big Red Liquors, and now you can sign up to maybe win yourself a big green egg. Big Red Liquors, no purchase necessary. You got to be 21. Online for more info. That's bigredliquors.com today.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Trading in or selling your car, truck, or SUV? WeBuyAnyCar.com takes the hassle out of selling in just 3 easy steps. 1. Get your free online valuation. 2. Drive to your local car buying center. And 3. Walk out with your check in as little as 30 minutes. So don't wait. Get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Summer happens at Speedway, because everything you need for summer happens at Speedway. Like drinks. Drinks happen. The freshly brewed drink, the splashed over ice drink, the wake you up drink, the cool you off drink, the make your brain hurt for a minute drink. All poured however you want them, whenever you want them, all summer long. So on every hot day, you have something cold to sip. Speedway, summer happens here. And now, get any size fountain or Speedy Freeze for just 89 cents. Excludes maximum.
Wow, I've got a whole 5 minutes before my next call. What should I do? Grab a snack? Nah. Text with mom? That's more than a 5-minute proposition. I have been looking at getting a new bank account. Is that even possible?
Can't believe you have extra time? You won't believe what you can do with it. Open a Regions checking account online in as little as 5 minutes. Then enjoy award-winning service and banking tools and tech that help you live in the moment. Learn more at regions.com/live in the moment. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Go trackside with Kurt Cabot and Kevin Lee. Tuesday night at 7 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
This will be the high point of my day. It's all downhill from here.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, this is a quick shout out to Heston out there, who runs our promotions, our fantastic promotions department. Heston, I believe we've found Lynn Gray. Heston. Did you text him? Did he get back with you? Shout out to Lynn Gray for being found by us. Brian Matthews, too. I would love to be in your video. Just let me know. Give me an email, jmv@1070thefan.com. I don't know what I'd be doing. I'm assuming that this is not partial nudity. I'm going to be fully clothed. Do I need to sign a waiver? You guys are loving in the legal industry, if you will, or the legal profession, I should say. You love my disclaimer. If you get your ass in a sling, it's not on me. However, that may not hold up in court. All right, number 9 right now at 239-1070. That is Kings of Leon. Kings of Leon, a 4-pack. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. This is the Subway Party Deck, and the only way you're going to get in to this exclusive party is to win this 4-pack right here. That show, Kings of Leon, the 22nd of August at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. And again, the Subway Party Deck is an exclusive 40-person private reserve covered concert deck. It is absolutely perfect for watching, viewing, enjoying. Private cash bar exclusively for those on the Subway Party Deck only. Kings of Leon, the 22nd of August. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. And number 9 is going to go. We'll do that coming up on tomorrow's show. All right, some things that you might have missed today. Jim Irsay, owner of the Colts, met with the media. And even more, a memo sent from the NFL about, hey, if you're not vaccinated, I mean, it is it's going to get interesting here. It will. We'll revisit that coming up on tomorrow's show. Mike Wells will join us coming up tomorrow. Pat Sullivan of Sullivan Hardware and Garden will join us coming up on tomorrow's show. We have David Bell, wide receiver, formerly of Warren Central. This dude is an athlete. David's going to join us from Purdue coming up on tomorrow's show as well. My thanks to Kevin Bowen, 1075thefan.com today. And for all that have listened, it is an absolute pleasure to hang out with you for 3 hours every single day. And a shout out to Anything Goes. I don't think I'm going to have a meeting by virtue of it. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live. Peace. Back with you tomorrow at 3.
Hey, it's JMV. If your hair is thinning and you're beginning to think, where do I begin? I went to We Grow Hair Indy because they are the most trusted name in hair restoration. Hair restoration is all they do, and they've been growing hair back for men and women for over 25 years. They're free.